Hi, well this is it, the TAB Sports Cafe. Welcome. Tonight we've got tons of stuff coming up for you.
Thanks, Tanya. Tonight we have with us a couple of leftovers from the Sports Casualty Ward, the injured Zinzam Brook and the injured Mark Ellis.
Oh, it doesn't worry me, like I thought Fiji play Fiji in the final because the Fijian fellow play for New Zealand, he's a Fijian, so I'm happy.
Oh, so you won both ways?
Yeah, no, like I'm cheering for any who is winning, I'm winning too, so I'm all right.
Congratulations on today's win. You guys have got a bit of a break now.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Okay. Okay, thanks very much, guys. Good effort. Tanya?
I guess what I'm saying is that I think they need the experience of Morrison and the brilliance of Nash and Cairns out there, you know, as well as everyone chipping in. It's, they're not far off dominating this West Indian side, but it's just those little things, you know.
Speaking of experience, I would have thought that, you know, you and Chatfield might have been a wild card. Throw them in there and maybe even just, you know, bore them out.
I was on my way to the KFC, but ended up here at TAP, which is both spelled the same, so don't tell me I don't know. Because I know. We all know. TAP, KFC, MOUSE. Okay.
Security found this man lurking around outside. Eric Rush of the Waikato Chiefs. Nice to have you here at the TAB Sport Cafe. You must be looking forward to taking on the Blues Brothers this weekend, yeah?
Blues Brothers, that's what they call them.
We were the Broke Brothers last year.
After going out with them a few times, it's more like the Booze Brothers.
Oh, definitely. It was a game of two halves, and all credit to Otago for the way they played the game. But I must say that Warriors game on Sunday was great. All credit to Mark Ellis too, what a great game and he had. But anyway, I've got to head back to Coke now, back to the Creditors' office. Thank you.
You've got a great future ahead of you. You've possibly got bigger legs than Mark Ellis, and that's one thing you've got definitely in your favour.
Well, I've never met Mark Ellis, but he's the worst person I've never met, so yeah, full credit, Mark. Good stuff.
Excellent, excellent.
G'day and welcome back to the Sports Cafe. It's about time you got here. And Rick, you're a very attractive young man. Don't think I haven't noticed. And Lana, might I also say that you're looking quite sensational this evening?
Oh, it's really charming, thank you. I just, coming from you, of course, it will make a woman like me feel really special.
Thank you.
I just had to get some of those terminologies right. Okay. You see there, avocado.
Okay.
I was a little bit green around the gills, of course, being a fish myself, Piscean.
Okay.
But I was most impressed with the Scottish and terribly inspired as well as they played their way in a raging volcanic ash storm in Rotorua, inside Vegas, of course. And I've got my 2 times a Kiwi, which is a kōtuku, of course, for you TAB guys, to put on our Olympic team in 35 days, which is Mountain Blast Powerade. NBA season is over, don't drink it anymore. Market shares now, Olympic team, Powerade, this is Mountain Blast. Feed it to a mountain, it'll stop it.
Welcome to the Simon Weaver Internet Show.
You know, we just sort of cover and help out where we can.
What's with the running with two hands on the ball?
2 hands on the ball?
Yeah.
It makes it a little easier to hang on to it. Lana.
No, not really. It's,
no, you're
it's
wrong.
a good question, actually. It's, well,
it's a good question for you to answer.
If you sort of hold it in 2 hands, then the opposition don't really know what you're going to do
Listen,
with it.
kids. All those under 6, listen
always
to this.
Always hold it in 2 hands, because opposition don't really know what you're going to do with it. If you tuck it under your arm, then the opposition will come in and tackle you, because they know you're not going to pass it. So if you hold it out there, then they think, well, he's going to look to pass. So you can actually run a little bit further and you can actually draw the opposition.
What are your aims for the ski season?
That way, up, down. When I go straight out, I don't like it. You've got to keep your tips down, hands forward, trimmed. I aim to stay in control a little bit, but a little bit out of control too.
Okay.
Got that wild side on you, Rick, like yourself.
You're a very, very, very strange man, Simon.
I'll take it as an absolute compliment.
Oh, excellent. Bring the fish.
Come on, bring the fish in.
Thank you.
Okay, see.
All the way from Taupo. All my cousins down in Taupo. Actually, my father-in-law's got a fish shop down there.
Oh, stuff, Uncle.
And you guys,
Fantastic.
you guys have been eating very unhealthily, so we've got some smoked snapper here.
Just have a good shot.
There we go.
Bless you, my
One
son.
for you, Zin.
Talking about sports, let's get back into, yeah.
So if everyone can actually switch over to Seinfeld, we'll be back in half an hour.
That's sport.
And when we've got this finished.
My record is 68 buses, face to face. So around 260 metres.
That's fantastic.
You're not taking this seriously.
Can I ask what goes through your head, you know, when you're standing inside the cannon there, you know, and you're about to be ejected?
Once the cannon is about to be fired, I get a 10-second warning, which is when the wick is lit. And at that stage, I just blank my mind and make sure that I'm ready for projectile. When I get the 3-second call, my mind closes. I close my eyes and just think hard and erect, and then you're just in air and it's glide time. That's what really makes it.
It certainly is a privilege to have you on the show.
You actually met Blocker Roach. Have you spoken to the man?
Yes, I have. Yep.
Is his voice really that high? That's for the size of the man, isn't it? Did you hear when he was on that thing?
You don't actually mention it around him, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No.
Something's gone wrong. Somewhere there must be like a jockey with the voice of a prop, you know?
It's out! It's out!
What the hell was that?
We're giving him your phone number after
Yeah,
the
okay,
show.
mate.
Before you went out on the field, you think, all right, this week I'm going to do something special, or?
Yeah, I used to. Yeah, I used to plan things, and normally get away with it. I mean, I played one game once. I had a bet with some friends of mine that I could play 90 minutes without touching the ball with my right foot, which is my natural foot. And I played 90 minutes without touching it and scored 3 goals. So it was. I realised then I was probably the best player in the world.
I'm not suggesting this, isn't he? He's the other best player in the world.
He is.
One of the best performances I've seen you do was in the dressing room in England. Remember that in '93?
Yeah, fantastic. That was the hardest gig of my life, man. That was really tough. Walking into a dressing room after they'd lost to England, everybody in the team said that they hate losing to England more than anybody else.
I mean, that's the truth.
But and you know, being the only one there really, and somebody thrust a guitar in my hands, and I was compelled to sing. So
it was perfect though. It's just what we needed. We were all down, and Big Loz was walking around giving everyone the finger. So we needed something to pick the fellas up, and God, you must have strummed for about 3 hours. Came in on the bus and
yeah,
did you get into the moment?
Played a few.
I was sitting. I remember in the bus we were having a bit of a sing back to town. I had a feeling that Laurie was actually not all that happy about it in the end, because it was by the time we got into London, it was like you know, we'd won or something.
I'm just a New Zealander who's enjoyed rugby and enjoyed the people around it, and still enjoys the rugby and the people around it.
You've taken an opportunity recently to put a few words down on print. The book's been released. What's that about?
Funnily enough.
Yeah.
About music,
What's in there? Well, no, be a little bit more specific. We're enticing a general audience here.
A lot of things in it, really.
Well, it could have been a single experience. You're so cheeky, mate.
Very difficult over 240 pages of a single experience.
Yeah. Well, I think that comes down to actually the management, what John Hart's actually done, what he actually did through the Test campaign. He didn't put a lot of pressure on players. He took the pressures off the players, and they responded accordingly.
How much time's committed to outside activities? You know, you're obviously, with the profiles that you have, Andrew, you can look at me.
I thought we were talking to Zinni again. I thought he was doing particularly well. Yeah. He's got on the right side of Hardy again, so he's got himself in the team again next year.
Well, you got to think about next year, you know.
Down here in the capital, the unofficial capital of New Zealand. They're going absolutely mad, and fair enough too. Hey Zinni, how'd you find that tour, big guy?
Hey mate, how's things? Cheers, how you doing?
This is for SportsCafe, you know, the show that you used to do before you got famous. There he is, the human cannibal. Have a word to us.
Oh, God bless them. Aren't they fantastic?
What does the Test series against South Africa mean for you personally?
I think it's probably the biggest or most enjoyable tour I've been involved in, and probably the greatest team. And to beat the South Africans was just amazing.
Is the hard being away from home for so long? I mean, you've both got families.
Yeah, it is hard, but I think...
Oh, he's gone down. It's just fallen down.
It's okay, they wouldn't take that
away. You know what that was, eh?
Yeah.
It was a sign from above. It's hard being away. Oh.
Yeah. Now you tell us. You tell us the truth. You obviously enjoy being away.
No, it's hard being away, but the wives are getting used to it, and makes it a lot easier to justify when you're getting paid for it.
No one had heard of Bio Wolfgram going to those Olympics, and then all of a sudden the whole world knew about you.
I think it was a nice story to have in the Olympics.
I was supposedly the guy who trained under the mango tree and came all the way from there and took a medal in Atlanta. I tried to convince the media that no, I lived in New Zealand most of my life. I trained here. I was exposed to a lot of facilities, but no, they decided it was a better story that I came from under the mango tree, and so it was a nice story to have, and the media picked up on it. And when I beat the Cuban, then the American public started supporting me.
It's a big feat to beat a Cuban boxer, isn't it?
Yeah, as I was saying before, the Cubans are like the All Blacks of amateur boxing. And to beat one, have one on your record is an achievement.
You gladiators, you're pretty good at celebrating and talking the talk.
What do you mean by that?
You gladiators, you're pretty good at celebrating and talking the talk.
You're a parrot now, are you?
Yeah.
That's good. We are good, aren't we?
Is that scripted or...?
It's nothing scripted with gladiators. It's all off the cuff. I mean, we play for real, we speak for real. So when somebody says, you're not as tough as you look, believe me, you're not as tough as you look.
Why?
Well, guys kissing guys.
Does it threaten you?
Hence questioning the sexuality.
But
Doesn't
you're
threaten me,
here,
did I
you're
say
trying
it
to look
threatened
like
me?
a woman.
Oh, am I? Yeah. Got a set of milkers.
This is obviously your first big tour to London. You've obviously want to go and see the sights of London. Have you seen the Eiffel Tower yet?
I haven't seen anything yet, mate.
London Dungeon. You've got to go to London Dungeon.
You haven't seen the Eiffel Tower?
We stopped off where Robin Hood was brought up, or wherever he lived.
Robin Hood.
We just crashed at McDonald's and had a feed, and got on the bus and shot us. Didn't get to see Robin or his castle.
I'm off to Wellington and Christchurch. We're at Wellington tomorrow, and then we're at Christchurch on Saturday. I think you need to come with me, and I'll give you a bit of personal training.
Oh, yes, gotcha.
Thank you very much.
Oh, it's just a little thing.
Thank you and good night.
Good night.
Power cleans, squatting, deadlifting, doing a lot of incline work, and also strengthening up the fingers. So with all the added power, it's just added into the technique and throw.
Admittedly, I've been looking quite forward to you coming in because I'd like you to, if you would, critique me on my technique, the old
Just move aside
hand
a second.
across. And how many pumps of the arm?
Just one and you're away.
One and you're away, and then just hurl it. Oh, sorry. Apologies.
I thought, hey, I'm going to be the Olympic champion. It was like I just edged ahead, and then with about 60 metres to go, I sort of looked across at Darren, and he was right on my shoulder, and he looked across at me, and I sort of had this desperate look on my face, and he sort of looked pretty good still. And I thought, oh, I've blown it. But...
So now the larger car has been brought into the competition.
Certainly has, Rick.
Thanks, Benny.
Please. That's about the width of a matchstick. That's impeccable driving. I think you're going to have to admit it. You can't park. Good confidence, Zinny. Attack it.
So Zinzambrook now using his car once again.
That was a new car too.
Pretty exciting so far, don't you think, Bernie?
Certainly is, Rick.
Two manoeuvres as opposed to one. Yep. And you're still out from the curb by 6, 7 inches and 6 inches at the front.
There has been a call for neutral umpires.
6 inches there, 4 inches there.
Yeah. It's a good effort, but you took 2 bites. And
you took 5 bites.
You weren't quite as close. Look at that.
Eh?
No, I just went voomp, reverse straight in.
Yeah, you took 5.
1.
No, 5.
1.
That was the one before. I got 1.
Okay, you won, Zinny.
And 8 feet at the back.
No.
Sneaking army at
Well,
that.
it's from the tow bar. That's 2 feet. I've got 3 feet. And you had 5.
Look at that.
No, it's still on the ground.
I had 3 feet as well. It's amazing how he tries to even argue this. Look at where he's parked his car, which he drives every day.
To train for the sport, it's like we saw these Bruce Lee movies. Do you stand there and there's a pole, then you kick the pole? you do all that stuff there. And
Paul doesn't fight back, Zinny.
Yeah, but like, is that how you give? Obviously, got to harden your body to it.
To harden your shins, you kick something hard but not too hard. If it's too hard, it's more
Good.
damaging.
Like a rope.
If it's hard, your shin is like this, tight, and it will get smashed up a little bit.
Yeah.
But it grows back together harder, and
Yeah.
it grows more callus on it, and that's where you get your protection. And also, because you're knocking it all the time, the nerves get...
you bash the ends of the nerves, because
Yep.
that's the sensitive part, and that's where it stops hurting, eh?
Sort of like those pumped up footy balls. I like to consider myself a bit of a strong foot. Just been practising away here behind. We've been giving one another a wee workout. Step back before we take a hiding.
Prefer you keep that to yourself.
Welcome aboard, I'm Montgomery.
And the nominations are number 1, the All Jug from Homer Place Productions, based in Upper Riccarton, Christchurch.
The second last marker.
Yes. Why would you use plastic if you didn't want to cheat? Get off the stage. You're full of shit, Dennis.
Next nomination, a friend of Mark Ellis's, surprisingly enough, from the deep south. And the final nomination, The Last of a Breed.
By
The Red-Eyed Sweet Eaters production team in Invercargill.
And they don't mind a bit of argy-bargy, some of that there, young sport. Right, get in there! Low, what the heck, what are you going to do?
It's just about getting that balance to...
So, no, when you were at school, did you sort of think to yourself, right, I'm going to be a sportsman, that's what I'm going to do?
Yeah, I think I did actually, yeah. I was big on rugby league when I was young, and I just wanted to play rugby league. And I got a scholarship straight out of school. Went there 2 weeks, hated it. And then some things that they said weren't didn't eventuate, and I came home.
What would you have done if you hadn't made it? If you hadn't made it as a sportsman?
Wouldn't have a clue, you know.
Where was your scholarship to?
I went to the Newcastle Knights. Was there, I signed up for 2 years, there 2 weeks.
Excellent.
Wow. So what's your big thing? Are you into like the pace or the slalom? Or a bit of both?
I get into both.
What about the bowl?
Good work.
Can we see that again?
Yeah. Or can I jump in front of the counter?
No. The pace? Just a little bit angry.
I'm going to have to go to anger management. Rick. That's what you do to me, mate.
Look at that. That's quite special.
Yeah. I might just keep this on if you don't mind.
The Warriors will come out in that next time.
Absolutely. And to the people who reckon that Tyson would have beaten Ali, well, you get a rude slap around the mouth. He's only ever fought one guy who can fight, and he's been beaten twice by him.
Can't fight going backwards.
Exactly. Ali would have cleaned him up.
Very tragic. Well,
what do you reckon, Rushy?
Oh, Ali was the best, mate. We actually met him, Eos.
Yeah, we did actually.
We met him in Scotland, and he did a little levitation off the ground.
Interesting.
What? I'm not lying. He's religious, mate. We're not lying.
We saw it would have been a bit of a...
Yeah, it was a trick, obviously.
Yeah,
it was a trick, I know that.
My favourite rock? Yeah. Best rock to buy is really a hangi stone. Hangi stone, mate. You can cook a good meal with it.
Can you explain to Melanie what you're talking about?
A hangi stone.
What is that?
A hangi stone is a stone that Māori people used to cook food with.
Okay.
And what you do is you leave it out in the sun all day.
It gets hot.
And it gets hot. Yeah. And then you put eggs and stuff on it and it cooks it.
I was just talking about that with, like Fitzy and Zinni. We've been
Some
around.
other old guys.
Some of the old, mature guys, we like to call ourselves. And but just the fact that you'd think it's easy maybe get a bit blasé, but quite the opposite. You actually, it means more and more each time you wear it. And I think also because you know that you could easily be your last, so you just treasure it more.
I think a lot of it is when you first pull it on, you think about the guys who have worn it before you. But as you keep playing in it, you've got to think about the kids who want to wear it after you too, you know. It's a big responsibility, isn't it?
Right, now we were hoping, of course, to have Laurie Daly in the show and, of course, Wendell Saylor. Very excited about that. And they haven't shown up. But we did manage to find their taxi drivers who were bringing them out from the airport, Phil and Phil.
Not wanting their real names to be known.
Yeah. So, Phil, what's the story? Where are Wendell and and Laurie?
We dropped them off down the front there, but yeah, not too happy. They scarpered down the back, so I thought they were coming in here, but they haven't shown up, obviously.
Did they pay you? They did the runner?
No. Well, we thought they were coming in here, so we're going to come along and have a bit of watch as well.
Yeah, done a bit of a runner.
Not too happy, I tell you.
How much did they owe you?
$30.
30 bucks?
Yeah, 30.
Oh.
Yeah.
There he is, mate. There he is. The Armenian. He's hard at work.
Hey! Yeah, g'day. Yeah, I'm just here from TAB SportsCafe. I'm just doing some roving reporting. I was wondering if we could interview you. We just helped our way in, mate. We just wouldn't mind a couple of words with you, if that's all right. We're not the paparazzi, mate. Just for a video contest, mate. Is that cool? Is that cool, mate?
Yeah, no, get it.
Just over here, mate. Hey, what do you think of the upcoming Men in Black tour?
What's that?
The upcoming Men in Black tour, what do you think of that?
Oh, yeah, they're all right, mate, but to be honest, I prefer to watch a good game of rugby league, eh? You know? Hey, come here, you dribble.
Get out of here, Bob! Jesus! You needed to cool down anyway, hothead.
Right, come here!
Australia the best rugby league team in the world?
Oh, I think we've proved ourselves over the past 10 years or 15 years that we are. But, there's always cycles in rugby league, as there are in any sport, and the other sides are gradually catching up. And, I think New Zealand at the moment have got the nucleus of players there that can cause and can dominate as much as Australia has. So the Australian sides really have to be on their guard, especially in the next couple of years, because, as I say, the Kiwis are getting closer. The Poms have probably dropped away a little bit. That over the past couple of years, they were tended to be the side that were catching up to Australia, but it's sort of happened now that the New Zealand players are, and I think because of the introduction of the Auckland Warriors into the Australian competition.
Our first guest tonight is Greg Kovacs. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to guess what he does for a living. Just take a look at this. Greg, what brings you down to New Zealand?
I'm here to guest pose this weekend at the Weider New Zealand Championships, the Nationals. It's the biggest show, I guess, in New Zealand. All the best bodybuilders are here to compete.
Excellent. And what can I have a really brief resume of your history, perhaps?
I've been lifting weights for 10 years.
No kidding.
I started competing in bodybuilding when I was 21. I'm 28 now. I turned pro last year at my country's nationals, and that's about it.
How'd you go?
How did I do?
Yep.
Yeah, I won. That's why.
Just checking.
Yeah, that's how I got my pro card.
What do you feed them, mate?
Each arm or all together?
Yeah, those babies. How do you get them? Talk me through it. How long's it going to take?
The show's only an hour long. I don't have that much time.
Yeah, fair.
But no, I eat usually around 10,000 calories a day.
How many chickens is that, mate?
It's quite a bit. I eat like maybe 12 chicken breasts a day, and 3 pounds of beef, lots of eggs.
6 chickens, mate, you're knocking off in a day.
Yeah.
What's just the rundown of your day? I keep looking at the monitor over here, and I just your routine for the day, like the start of the day. Can you give us quickly how your day starts and like the amount of meals you eat?
Yeah, usually I eat about 8 meals a day, and I wake up and I have a breakfast of maybe 2 pounds of beef, a bowl of oatmeal, big bowl of oatmeal, lots of fruit. And every 2 to 3 hours is about the same all throughout the day.
That is the best slimming technique I've ever seen in the world. You have lost so much weight since then, in a fraction.
The Weight Watchers called me. They wanted me in the commercials for the after shots with the people that lost the weight.
When you pump up, I thought bodybuilders only got really big when they started pumping the blood through. You getting bigger than that when you start pumping up?
Yeah, I almost explode sometimes.
Oh. Can you do it before you started bodybuilding? Were you quite lean? I mean, did you have a good basic structure?
Yeah, before I ever lifted a weight, I was at 17 years old. I was like 240 pounds. I was already fairly heavy. So
fat heavy or?
What are you clocking in at now?
I'm about 160 kilos right now.
Oh, that's gorgeous. That really is. Yeah.
So when you do your routine,
sorry,
how do you choreograph it? Do you work it out beforehand, or?
Oh, I just get with a mate and stick the video recorder in the corner of the room and a few mirrors around, and then just
a close mate, right?
Yeah, what about you, Greg? What do you do?
About the same. No, for me, it's each bodybuilder has to find what their best body parts are, and they try to emphasize that and hide their weaknesses on stage. And
how do the few socks get anyway? Sincerity, mate. You know, you asked that question of the model who came on the show before. Do you like, because you've got to wear those tight slacks, don't you? Do you like ever enhance yourself there? Honesty, cool. You don't have to answer it.
Okay, I'll keep that to myself.
Good on you. Now, what about clothing? I mean, obviously you're out of proportion for what comes straight off the rack.
Yeah, I usually have to get things tailor-made, but there's a special line of clothes sometimes for bodybuilders. It's one size fits all, so they're usually tight on me compared to other people. So.
Have you heard about the New Zealand bodybuilders? Do we have a good reputation worldwide?
Yeah.
Looking at himself on TV. I'm regarded as quite a big person here in New Zealand.
So, Richard, can you talk us through your greatest ever bowling performance, the one that stands out in your mind as your favourite?
Well, I think...
you've got your own mic.
Yeah, well, OK, thanks very much. 1985, 1986 against the Australians clearly has to be the ultimate performance for me, and as it was for New Zealand, because he won that test match against the Australians.
Absolutely. 9
wickets in innings, catch the other fella out on the scorecard 10 times.
Oh, good
Can't
Lord.
be better
Now that was the day, of course, of the black and tan, the fantastic suit which has since been disposed
Actually,
of.
Mark, when they played that game, I think they played in whites, funnily enough.
It was a test match, actually.
Oh, was it?
Yes, it was a test match.
Sorry, we'll just look at the proof, because I think we've got it here.
Bit of evidence on tape,
indulge us.
as you do.
Indulge us.
Do you want to start again?
Well, no, I'm happy.
You're going to miss it, you know. I mean, we've still got another tour. It's not over yet, but I mean, and you've still got Robin to follow, but not having Zinni to watch.
I felt bereft at the announcement. I felt as though I'd lost an arm, I think. But this Rob, so
I'm losing a finger at the moment. It's getting squeezed.
But you knew it had to come sooner or later.
Yeah. The thing about it, look, I'm not. It feels like I'm dying. No, it's just I think it's just a time to celebrate and just remember all the good things that have happened in it. It's been great. There's someone else is going to come along and fill the shoes. It's probably just a little bit premature for a few people. I'm enjoying it, and I think people should enjoy it. Don't
soak it up.
Yeah,
soak it up for the night.
It's a great moment in rugby.
Give a cheer up, you're all
We watched his talent. You know, there hasn't been talent like that. And one of those guys comes along once in a while. And then he just showed a tremendous amount of skill and ability. And I think he's shown that right throughout his career and the other thing, the little things that he does. You know, it's not a good idea to pick a guy that's skilled and then stifle his skills in the game as a coach. And it's good to see that he's been allowed to do that. And, you know, just every little trick in the book that you've got, you might as well use on the field because you can score tries.
I think one thing that sticks out for me, come to think about it, was we were playing in France in 1990. We were playing Narbonne. Do you remember that game, bro?
Yes.
And I mean, they were a typical French team. They were really dirty and niggly, and we were on a line out in our own 22, I think. And for some reason, I would never forget his face. This crazy French guy, eh? Remember the guy? Never forget his face, eh? He was just mental, eh? And, for some reason, he had a crack at me. I don't know. He must have been frustrated about something. But the thing was, about 3 of them. But what happened? The ball went out. Our team won the ball and went wide. And all our team scrambled to get to follow the ball, and I was left. All of a sudden, I thought, it's just me against these 4 guys, French guys, having a great crack at me.
There's 3 of them in the game.
Was that the year you got best and fairest, James?
Yeah, well, I was going to go out the door at that moment, but thankfully, before that guy threw a couple of punches, but before he could throw the third one, I managed to duck, and then the third one, he was flat on the deck, and Zinni had dropped him out. And for me, that was, I'm not saying that but Zinni looked after me that day, and I thought it epitomised the way he sticks his neck out for the boys, and I'll never forget that. I mean, there's heaps of other awesome memories, but that one's special for me because I was going to get my beans, but.
こんばんは皆さん。今夜もまたスポーツカフェの時間がやってきました。ゲストメンバーはナナ、マーク、やリカド、
あなたはホモですね。
こんばんは。よくこのチャンネルを見てくれました。変じゃねえの？
グラン。
おう、リカド。ははは。
スポーツカフェの時間がやってきました。日本から戻ってきたジョン・カーワン。
こんにちは。
ペントハウス行きてえよな。
あ、いいですね。はい、私の日本少しだけあなたは頭本当に悪い。
ニュージーランドに戻って5キロも太って。
Please.
I'm regarded as quite an elite athlete in New Zealand. I'm hold the world record for human projectiling. Have you, from one speedman to another, do you have any particular tips for me? I have problems with the wobble when I'm flying through air at high speeds. I sort of get the facial wobble. Now I noticed down the track you're very smooth. It was a beautiful rhythm. Is it something you've consciously worked on?
I mean, yeah, I try to constantly work on being smooth, and if I have any advice to you, I say make sure you have a very cushiony landing wherever you're landing.
I thank you very much. It certainly hasn't been the case in the past.
What's the most difficult tree to climb, do you think?
Putakawas.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
Mature putakawas.
Pungas are difficult though, because if you go out, then they've got those furry bristles and it can quite often get stuck in your throat and larynx.
Yeah.
Have you tried it?
I have. I've gone up a few pungas.
What were you doing going up a punga?
That's a scar from a punga.
What were you doing going up a punga?
Admittedly, I was a little inebriated.
Go, my little ball. Fly, my little friend. Fly.
They lost 181-0. They got on telly, home sent down a reporter, but we sent down someone with guts to help them out on the field.
Yeah, we might give him 10 minutes today, see if he's any good.
Yeah, might phone him up.
Suck it in, baby. Suck it in, baby. Come on, Benny. Way to go, Benny. I haven't seen a white streak across the paddock in a long time, I tell you, mate. I thought you were in the scrum next minute, you're knocking their winger down there. Hey, that bug, you fella.
After a torrid and close encounter with the Onipu Senior Rugby Club, it's time for the fun stuff. Here's my boys.
It wasn't more than 2 or 3 weeks ago we had 2 or 3 at training. Just before the Maris game we sort of had 5 or 6. It's been a real turnaround. What's happened after the big score? We're now looking at 25 at training.
Kia ora. Thank you very much on behalf of TAB Sports Cafe and myself.
What about Donald? Do you have much to do with him?
Donald Duck.
Don King.
Oh, please.
King?
King.
What's your opinion of King?
Don King, he's a big man. I met him a couple of times at the WA convention. He's a cool guy, but don't get involved.
Is he good for boxing?
Because he'll make you, he'll break you. He'll give you $1 million on your doorstep. Ernie Shaver's a good friend of mine. He said, well, one day he came to Ernie Shaver's door, he gave him $1 million and said, yo, this is all yours. But the next day, in a couple of weeks' time, he'll take $2 million off you.
Hello, my name is Eva Evgenieva, and now you're going to watch tonight live from Levin.
Left field.
Left field.
My knee has not recovered as I hoped it would, so it's time for me to look ahead to other things in my life, because I've decided to retire from rugby.
Yeah, so it's all over.
Man, I haven't watched rugby for 2 years, but
you missed some bloody good rugby in the last 2 years.
Sean, is it sunk in yet that it's all over, rugby-wise? You're still alive, of course.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I suppose the hardest part would be probably watching the guys play in terms of the test matches. But I think over the last sort of 6 months, I've sort of been preparing myself for that. And I think I looked at the end of last year's tour. I probably knew then that it'd be difficult to come back and play again, but wanted to give myself that chance, just so I wouldn't look back in a few years and think if only I'd, given it a go. So I'm very much at ease with myself. I know that I've done everything I can possible to try and get it right, and it's not right, so I can carry on for life.
What made Sean such a good hooker, say in the scrums, from your perspective as a hooker, as a prop?
he was very, very strong, incredibly strong actually, from his university background, and he had very small hips, which is quite unique in a front row. And if your hooker's got small hips, this is getting very technical. Rick,
please.
He can actually hook the ball and still push. Most other guys with big hips, they'd hook the ball and they'd pop up and you could push them back.
I'd have to say I've got over it now. But, at the time, it's funny just listening to Sean talking about how he feels when he watches the All Black run out. Yeah. Whenever I was there, you know, he was wearing my jersey in the World Cup, and I'm sure he'll feel the same way when Norm or Anton Oliver or whoever goes out there. I'm sure that he'll be feeling that that's your jersey, and you know, they've taken it off you. So. Takes a while for that to go, but you'll get over it, yeah. The great thing is that, I mean, you've gone as far as you can, and I guess I did the same, pushed myself to the limit, and I can look back with some satisfaction that you gave it your best shot.
Do you enjoy watching Sean's career?
No, not a bit.
No.
Did you treat yourself to a few cleansers on Saturday night?
Sorry, what was that?
A few cleansers on Saturday night. Did you treat yourself?
Beers. Yeah, sure. Had one or two.
You didn't see the nutter out and about, did you?
Who's the nutter?
Macintosh.
No.
No?
No, we didn't. I think they went home
he'd have been all
straight
lick it up.
So you've had a couple of days off. When are you due in Auckland?
We don't come up till Friday.
Scott, that's enough from you, please. So you guys are both...
Number 2, Kiwi in the Melbourne Cup by the SportsCafe crew.
An unbelievable performance by Kiwi, who was standing them up 25 lengths at the 1,000 metre mark.
Looks like the winner to me.
And he's raced straight past him.
Shelford hits it up.
And the finalist number 5, Buck Shelford by Mrs. Nesbitt.
Right in front of the ref too. That looks uncomfortable. Ooh, he nastily limps off the field. This looks very, very uncomfortable as he sits down, Shelford. Oh, he gets here's the sewing needle. In he goes. Oh, Shelford, you hard man.
You keen for a race?
Oh, I'd take you on, yeah.
Yeah. $5.
Okay.
Dinner?
Yeah.
Weekend? No. Well, I'm going to dive.
You're diving, I'm diving then.
You're diving?
Okay.
Rightio. Hence, we've built a cannon. We're training again. We're going to reclaim it because it's our birthright.
I've heard that underdog is your favorite animal, is it?
Who's that?
Underdog? All right, and I've heard some kind of stories of some kind of animal here. You've got some kind of underdog with you?
We do what?
You've got an underdog with you?
Oh, we're the underdogs.
All right, can you please explain to me what exactly is underdog? I think that you're not allowed on animals in the hotel.
The underdog?
And I've heard that you've got some kind of underdog here.
No, it's not underdogs here. We just want to play the game. And
I mean, Percy, how do you feel having a name like that, Percy? Does that make you feel tougher, stronger?
Firstly, it's a family name. It's actually Percival Colin Montgomery.
Mm-hmm.
That's my full name. And but most of my friends call me Monty. Just keep it short.
Yeah, so nobody calls you Percy?
Not really, no. My friends call me Monty.
I'm here to voice the opinion of the people, and we're absolutely shocked about what you said. The crowd at Carrisbrook being dull. It's the pride and joy of New Zealand rugby, and you've just crossed the mark. Can you justify yourself?
That was supposed to be the house of pain. It was the house of silence. Back at home, Her Majesty the Queen has garden parties with more atmosphere than was created by those people.
Thumb down.
Question that I wanted to ask you. What do you think of Al McPherson?
What are you setting me up for?
On behalf of TAB SportsCafe, welcome to New Zealand.
Wonderful to be here.
And very, very kind of you to come all this way for an interview.
Thank you very much.
I come bearing gifts. Being a good Kiwi bloke, I've went out diving yesterday.
Yes.
And managed to track down a couple of little molluscs for you. So,
look at that.
Indeed. You're a keen diver yourself, I understand.
Look at that. These are fabulous. Can I have these for lunch?
You may indeed. Do you have to watch what you eat to an extent?
No. I mean, I do look at what I eat.
Perfect.
It
Because,
tends to be more interesting than not looking at what
the perfect condiment to a crayfish is it's a spate.
I haven't had this. I'm actually quite a beer fan myself, but I haven't.
Well,
had
may I tell you that this is the top quality product.
He got up and pulled on his brand new gi. It's the white clothes.
Looked in the mirror.
His brand new gi.
That's the clothes.
Looked in the mirror, thought he was a she.
And wondered if from now on he'd have to sit down to pee. The day beat Jackie Chan. He stood in front of the mirror and started to flex.
Again, his mind reverted to Rex.
The man upon whom he wanted to model his very own pecs. The day Oz beat Jackie Chan.
Beat Jackie Chan. I'm a little late. It's all right.
He went to the dojo and found Jackie there.
And saw it was Rixolizzo, because he had no hair.
You're endangering the lives of other people.
No.
It's about trust.
Well, if I'm endangering anyone by being nude, let me know. We're out with the nature.
Just
So we've been through a big day. How are we feeling, guys?
Good.
Yeah, great.
We're all bonding well together.
Yeah.
But I do want to go home sometime.
Okay.
So,
I'll show you how it's done and then you guys can have
okay.
it.
Is this like that stage jumping sort of in reverse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just lean back and 1, 2, 3.
Is there a lot of pressure now trying to be a professional rugby player and a student?
Yeah, there is a bit, but you can tailor your degree to suit because...
well, Mark did it. 9 years, I think it was, yeah.
Please.
Yeah, he sat a couple in New Zealand, didn't he?
Pardon?
How many did he sit in New Zealand?
Oh, probably 60 or 70% of them, Anton. To be perfectly honest.
Fair enough.
Can you get an IGRA tat because you're in the NPC final?
No, I don't think you could do that. But it's fair to say Macca certainly worked the system, used all his guile.
There's an art form to it, there's no doubting that. Have you got any lecturers who do you have Professor Buisson?
No, I don't.
Because he's fairly sympathetic if you lob him a bottle of whiskey. I mean, I've played a bit of golf in my time, and I've not a great deal, and I've seen a few people get hit. You know, have you ever come across that?
I've been out cold. I got hit.
You've been struck?
Yeah, I got hit right there on the way back in Ireland in 1976.
In a tournament?
Yeah, it was the last hole of a Pro-Am. Got hit right there, I was out cold.
Did they get it on telly? I mean, is it on film?
Yeah,
It's been replayed and replayed?
Not, yeah.
Did you get the guy?
He was bigger than me.
Was he? What do you think of the actual medals? Is that right?
You're up there. We didn't want to get them pitched, so we locked them up.
Did you?
Yeah.
Even to it, eh?
Yeah, that's the first thing the boys did. Is it real gold?
Is it?
Started biting it. Yeah, it is.
Is it real gold?
Yeah, the real McCoy.
What have we got?
Sarah, huge effort to beat the odds, beat the world champion. Oh, Frank Bunce, ladies and gentlemen!
Get out of there!
Sarah, huge effort. Were you put off by that sooky Australian American that lost, that you beat in the semis?
No, fortunately she spat the dummy after we competed, so that was to my advantage. But I know her from previous competitions, and we actually had dinner just a couple of nights before our race, so she's a fairly volatile character.
She's always like that, is she?
Yeah.
Sean?
I'm very sorry that I can't be there tonight. God, that's great stuff. But it's my job to give the Sponsorship Awareness Award, which I think is so vital, especially with the commitment and passion that is needed for sport these days. Much the same as Keith Carvett's, really, in terms of the quality they deliver. But that's getting off the subject here. It's vital that you have commitment and passion, and you look after your sponsors because they are such a vital part of the game. So thank you. Thank you, my sponsor, Coca-Cola. I can't believe that I am unbranded today. It was a moment of weakness, but I am, at the moment, signing a wonderful book put out by Penguin, and it can be obtained at a number of bookshops. But I'm at Whitcoulls at the moment. It's a lovely bookshop here in Queen Street, on the corner of Queen Street, and we're doing a great job. But I must dash. I'm off to Auckland Airport. We're flying out to Christchurch tonight, and if you're looking at buying shares, Auckland Airport is always a good airport to invest in. But thank you. Nice to see that your hair hasn't grown anymore, Rick. And we'll catch you later. And good luck to the guy that wins the prize. See you later.
What?
You won it!
You won it! You won the prize, you big prize!
You won the prize? Oh, I've won it.
Yeah.
What, and you've Commonwealth Games, you're 18?
My first one, yeah. 19.
Yeah, and so it's just, I couldn't believe how young you were. It's such a huge achievement at your age. It must just blow your rocks off sometimes.
Yep.
Our tail's very, very strong with Daniel Vittori and Dion Nash batting down there.
Hasn't
and
Daniel
of course
been a revelation?
Jeff Daniel's fantastic. You know, he's a great young cricketer. Yeah. And I think in Daniel Vittori, Craig McMillan and Matthew Bell, that we've got three young guys coming through who have a lot of passion and play with a lot of pride for New Zealand as well. So, you know, they do a great job.
How heavy is your bat?
What did you...
It's a rather personal question.
It's a great Nichols,
right there with them.
Did you have it like a fairly heavy one there?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not as, the old man, mate. He was 3 pound plus, you know, like that. Big. I'm bigger than
Finals day, party time. Hong Kong Sevens.
And don't be scared. What you're about to see may offend you, but then again, it may excite you.
Are you very good? Are you world ranked? Or your snails world ranked?
We'll be realistic, Rick. We're going over there. We're optimistic, but the competition in the States is incredible. But if we could come back with a medal, that'd be...
of any colour.
Be of any colour.
Because those snails have got it all over there, haven't they?
Are there a lot of drugs in your sport?
Oh, once we get to the States, yeah, we'll be going for it.
It goes through phases, you know, the power in tennis. Perhaps if they'd have stayed with wooden rackets, it would have been, you know, a much better choice, like, say, cricket has decided and baseball's decided to stay with... Major League Baseball's decided to stay with wooden bats. Again, I don't think those in the know with tennis had that foresight.
Sorry, Rick. You better come in.
So can these snails race at all, or there's just some kind of a conspiracy?
Sure, they can race, but at that level, I don't know. I'm not a professional. I'm not as good. Not as good as I thought. Not as good as I told everyone on the show. It's the drugs, the booze. The runs stopped coming. I'm sorry. hold me. I just wanted to get on TV. I wanted to have a shot.
Now, George, I've been meaning to ask, you know, you used to do the backflip pass.
Yes.
Every halfback in the Super 12 seems to be doing it. You ever thought about copywriting it, or?
No, not at all. I guess it's quite nice to see that happening, but it's one of those things where you probably don't do it too much because people go to the video and they've defended quite well against that, so it's something we haven't been able to do too much this year.
So you know when you win a race and you get up there and you've got the glamours on either side, Lana, sorry, and you fire the champagne, and are you allowed to neck any given that you're 18? Or do you have to just shower it over everyone?
I tend to take a minor gulp, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Have you ever been head up?
No, not yet.
I don't think anyone's been charged with underage drinking on the podium.
It's in public.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
I don't think people are going to take us seriously if we do this show, Nate.
Oh, look, we've championed the cause. It'd be rude not to.
I didn't realise there was one the right way.
The bacon's not a great idea, was it?
That's nothing out of the usual, though, Mark, is it?
Got understanding neighbours?
Fraught with danger.
Switch this. She didn't look at
Should have looked him in the eye, wasn't it?
And one of my signature dives is a swan dive, and then into a staple.
Yeah.
Is the staple dive utilised in competition diving?
Not at all.
No.
You'll probably get ones or twos for that dive, I'm afraid.
One of your major achievements was having a #2 hit in Finland.
Yes, it was.
In Finnish.
In Finnish.
A song. Do you remember? Yeah, a song.
Can you sing a...
Yeah, it went moni moni on etu, maki kotka englanen, esamina mitan, vaikka onkin viimeisin, hyppä että hyppä. Sing along, everyone.
What does it mean?
I don't know the translation. Nobody actually told me what the translation was.
You never know why it's sold so much then,
Have you always been a goalkeeper?
Not at all. I used to enjoy running around the park, kicking the ball and kicking people, but I got to a stage in my life where I didn't really enjoy the hard work, which all the outfield players used to do, or have to do, and so I got stuck between the sticks a couple of times, and I enjoyed that, did quite well, and stuck at that. But now I've found they actually probably do more work than anyone else.
Every time a goal is scored, do you blame a defender?
Always, mate. I've never let through a goal that's been my fault.
Hey, we've got a game there, Rick. We see people coming up behind you over, and, well, not over, and what we'll do is say point, and when we say point, here's an example. When we say point, just chuck your arm out to the right. 1, 2, 3, point!
Even got done by Nick Bell, don't it? Shit. Got your call, mate. There's a call on my mobile phone. So I figured you're calling me to come out, mate.
No,
G'day, Hootie.
How you doing?
See Ball.
Good to see you.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Ball.
You must be Blowfish.
Yes, nice to see you.
Likewise, yeah.
You got something right here. Can I get that for you?
Oh, no, feel free. So yeah, welcome to New Zealand.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Noticed the game of golf was free.
Yes.
Yeah, I rang a few of my people.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for looking out for us.
Yeah, this is where they had the World Cup last year.
Yes.
I was John Daly's caddy.
There you go.
So yeah, if you want me to give you a bit of local knowledge, more than happy.
How do I get to this green in one shot?
Right, yeah. What have you got? You want to pull out your Big Bertha and just take a run up two steps, and follow through.
See what you got, Tank. Oh.
Didn't work, Cannonball.
Yeah,
didn't work.
Yeah, keep your eyes open.
Okay. You want to show me?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, why don't you give us a little demonstration?
What have we got? Yeah, biggest Bertha.
No way.
Away.
1 point, Rick, is that Rick, in 1995, the All Blacks never played a Southern Hemisphere team till they got to the final. It's different now. They've actually played a Southern Hemisphere team, which could be good for them. Over.
Yeah, I think it's interesting here in the papers that there's a huge focus from the British media and from the English team on to what happened in that 95 semi-final. In that semi-final. There's a big feature in one of the papers. Trying to focus.
So here we are with Bruno, and we're gonna welcome our beautiful boat into the world of boating.
Okay, ready?
But yeah, every Kiwi I've run into, and I've run into one or two, everyone's just, oh, I heard about the 3rd Division final, you know, East Coast one, so yeah, it's made big news over here.
Well, they wouldn't have it at the Times. It's owned by an Australian. The Times is owned by an Australian, so they won't publish it.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. Well, most of the media is owned by Australia.
So they
Hey, is
say.
that Philip Sherry?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Rumours of my death were greatly exaggerated.
Wow.
I want to tell you that that was the most just incredibly horrible thing you could have done to us. Now what happens to us? What about if you are disqualified? Our cause was to make a peace, not war, and now you're going to have to apologize.
Mieszko, to jest winiar. Oficjalna Americanas, ke jata do ball.
Hello from Team Bulgaria.
Iva Busho Nova, mai. Hilander Pruski Krika.
There has been a travesty of justice, and we are partly responsible.
Recent problems that the team has had at the America's Cup, that they did threaten us. They said, just try something at APEC.
Police.
The police, the Deputy Commissioner of Police, and we knew the temptation was probably going to be a little bit too great, so we've decided that we're going to lock ourselves here at left field for the entire time. We will not be leaving here during APEC.
Nothing in
You
hands.
see the entire team's here.
Hands up.
Hold on. Where's Ralph? We're here, Portland Ave. We've been set the record 40 kilometres an hour. We're here, we've got the wind at our back, we've got the speed, stamina, we've got the silver mackerel. We're ready. Helmet! No fooling you, mate, is there? Some may call it makeshift, even temporary, but it's going to serve a purpose. Added weight. 30. 40. 50. Watch out, stop back.
The giraffe is missing a skin, and that you're responsible. And a few words?
You'd like me to comment on that?
Yes, please.
I heard it was
incriminate myself, wouldn't I?
I heard it was a monkey.
What, that skinned the giraffe? Yeah, I've heard some tales in my time, but that's probably one of the better.
This we found off Graham's car. It's a, what's it?
It's a camshaft.
It's a camshaft. And it goes to the winner of the 1999 Bathurst race, Greg Murphy.
Yeah.
It's a little bit dirty. Have a seat in the couch.
Congratulations on winning Bathurst. It was at a time when the Kiwis wanted something, and you actually said, hey, Kiwis, this is for you. That was kind of nice.
Yeah, I thought about it before we did the race, and I thought I've got to, make things right with Australian race. A few Kiwis are in there. We've got make a bit of a difference, and had the opportunity to say it, so I couldn't let myself down.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, magnificent. Yeah, that's great. Are all the guys staying with East Coast for next year?
Well, I was speaking to a few of the guys, and yep, a majority of them are going to hang in there and have another party.
Even your imports.
Yeah.
Even your imports.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, we'll wait till their visas.
You voted. Fans 1999 TAB Sports Cafe Player of the Year. And?
Jonah Lomu, ladies and gentlemen.
And you don't have to applaud for a long time. You give me an award.
Present the award without talking, Blue.
Shake the big man's hand. Otherwise you start shaking me up.
I mean, we're obviously pretty happy that you've decided to sign on for a couple more years, play for the All Blacks. Was it obviously the lure of the All Black jersey, trying to put things right again?
Yeah, well, that was the biggest draw card. Yeah, it was just wanting to come back and play for New Zealand and play for the All Blacks.
When Delalio planted that one on your face after the try, did he say anything? I mean, what was that deal about?
Actually, he said, I tackled you, and I said, oh, yeah, I'm over the line.
It's Lion Red Sports Cafe.
You know, we're going into the qualifying series, so we've got a bit of sharpening up to do in that area.
Japanese any good, Mandy?
Yeah, they're all right.
Graham, are you there? Graham.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Which is bigger, the upper Amazonian pygmy marmoset?
Yeah.
Or, in fact, the blue-balled vervet monkey?
I'd go for the marmoset.
Well, I'm not too sure, but I'd like you to find out. Thanks.
Okay, we will.
Can you hear us, Mark?
No.
We've got a new member of our team who's very keen to get in behind Team New Zealand. You may have seen the ad where everyone goes out and is asked to blow when they've got not too much wind. Well, scientifically, I mean, that's a complete waste of time. Let's be realistic.
Yeah, it
won't work. But we do have something that may work, and we'd like you to hang it out for Team New Zealand.
Hi, I'm Brett. Brett Crescendo. You know, I've been involved in America's Cup racing since the late 70s, ever since that strict policy on solvent abuse. You know, my experience, the boys are doing well, but I'm sure I could still give them a hand. Hi, Rick Crescendo. You know, ancient mariners used to gauge the subtle changes in the breeze by hanging their large sensitive testicles over the bow of their canoes. I'm not sure whether Brad Coots or Russell Budworth swung to the starboard or to the port. Could be traditionalists, I suppose, with laptop technology, satellite irrigation systems, fish finders. They don't really need to know. But let's go forth and find out from the public which way their tackle swings. Do you know which way you're hanging?
Wouldn't have a clue. Oh, tackle swing's definitely the port side, mate.
Definitely the port side?
Yeah. One up, one down. The one down tells me where to go.
Bit of starboard, I guess, yeah.
I'm a left hanger.
Left hanger. So is that starboard or port?
That's port.
Kevin, how does a man make a decision to come the other way round?
Oh,
Don't
ever question a man like that, Lana.
I'm here looking for Tongan carver. Special Tongan carver.
Very special. They came all the way from Tonga.
And I've never had it before. Will this make my lips go a little funny? Or...
Go a little numb when
Okay.
you first tasted it.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
All right. See you later on.
Go now! Go now!
So how many days training have you had?
we've had like this whole week. Is your tongue going numb too? Mr. Carver?
What's the expectation?
What he's trying to say is, what's the expectation from the Tongan community? Has it been a big build-up?
Yeah, I think they'll be behind us, no doubt about that, but it's pretty high.
Hey, you got to get down here, mate. That guy's in bad shape. He's had too much carver.
Tony Brown, Justin Marshall. The forwards, Tane Randall, Josh Cronfeld, Ruben Thorne, Troy Flavel, Todd Blackadder, who will captain the side, Greg Somerville, Mark Hammett, and Craig Dowd.
Are you going into your first test as All Black coach? I mean, what's going through your mind?
Well, much the same as a player, I guess, Ricardo. You know, I'm excited by the opportunity. I think there's a few nerves here as well, but it's a privilege to be involved with the All Blacks.
I probably was thinking about another 5 more years. I have another 2 more years on my contract. I'm looking at signing another deal for another 3 more years. I'll be 30, 36, 35.
That's just young.
Yeah, I saw on the show the other day a 28-year-old rugby player is an old man.
Well,
You know?
I don't know about that.
Things may come and things may go at the 2 Ron Sky Sports show. So have your fun and have your frolics, but behave yourselves.
Or have your
guts for garters. You may applaud. And never trust a man with sunglasses on at night.
I beg your pardon?
It's just a bit of advice for you.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's fine. Yes, yeah. I've taken various pieces.
No, you call
of
me
advice.
fat. I can call you blind. That's okay.
I am.
Probably time to move to the commercial break.
The surf can be 3 or 4 metres and you just get, ripped out. It's actually harder coming in than it is going out.
A couple of years ago when you raced at PA, it was just the most amazing conditions I've ever seen.
It's ridiculous. It's
Speaking of
so
amazing
big.
conditions, Rick, there's been some quite good conditions down in Dunedin. In fact, Josh went out for a surf yesterday, and I think I can share this with you. He fell off his board, and the fin went straight up his clanger and gave him a split crack. So he didn't train yesterday.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Telling the coach why you're not training, I've got a split razor.
What'd you come back for? Because you obviously would have had a fair career there.
Why did I come back? One, because I'm a New Zealander, and rather than being selfish, really at the end of the day, it was for Daryl and Kira. They're probably up now watching, and for Kay, because I want them to be brought up in New Zealand life. And as a New Zealander, it's hard for the English to understand, but there is a better place in the world to live, and it's here.
Hallelujah.
Good for you.
Hey, it's really, really cool. And just before we get really emotional, we'll just move on to, because it was really nice.
What about that? I mean, everyone was talking this year about how you've toned down your play and stuff. Did someone have a word to you, or did you just sort of look at it and think, well, this
No,
is...
I just had to look at it myself, really, sort of where I wanted to go this year and, where I want to be at the end of it. So.
And you did tone it down, or you didn't tone it down?
Oh, I just channel it in different directions, yeah.
Can you get a little bit of a high heel? Now I just have to find somebody to ride me.
Should be no problem. Benny's Manny, she's picked to be the captain. Let's hear it from her, eh?
Let's hear it from me.
There you go, Benny's Manny.
Thank you, our man on the field, Scott. Let's check on the Olympic torch. As we know now, it should be in Christchurch. Come in, Christchurch. Great stuff. Any news on Irene van Dijk?
One person who's likely to be in it, sorry, John, is Irene van Dijk. Irene, how's it going?
Very well, thank you. Lovely being here.
Sorry?
Lovely being here.
Oh, no, sorry, it was John at the studio.
Be good to see him get on there.
Mark, I'm not expecting...
What do you think, Mark?
Thoughts on the...
You look like the Michelin Man.
He feels like a...
You've really bulked up.
Yeah.
Mertens has got nothing on you, man.
I'm pretty happy with the team.
TAB said 37 points. They were wrong. 45 points. We said less. So what do you reckon going into this? What do you think, Mark?
Given the options they had available, Rick, I think essentially the right decisions have been made.
Annoying thing that gets on the end of your line?
Eels, mate.
Morays.
More. If your rod draws down slow and he says, oh no, it's a moray.
Mel Meninga was 2 steps with the eyebrow lock and then the... What the old...
Very good.
Is it going to be hard to keep your feet on the ground a bit? Because everyone's talking you up, you know, including us.
Oh, it's not really much of a chance. Back to club rugby and that now, so looking forward to getting back into that.
I think that's that lady you kicked the ball into last week. She's going to throw something.
I've already apologised. She knew she should have ducked.
There was a stage when you had trouble breathing too, so, I mean, that's a bloody serious injury.
Yeah, it is. I had a tracheotomy and I couldn't breathe.
You got the scar?
Yeah, I have actually. Yeah. Jump on there. Scar there. And yeah, I couldn't breathe because of the swelling and my nose was broken. So basically, yeah, they had to cut a hole in.
An amazing beginning to your All Black career too. I'm scoring 3 tries against Tonga on debut. It's incredible.
Great. Great.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
That's Troy Flavel. Did you play club footy on the weekend, Eric?
Yes, I did actually, Rick. Had a shocker.
Did you get sent off?
Got in about 5 scraps, sin bin. Got 3 tries disallowed, though.
Of course you did.
I asked the ref, what's going on, mate? He said, Russia, you're just playing too well. So I said...
Welcome to the show. Tonight's contestant on Master Clown is Mr. Mark Ellis from Otago University.
Evening.
BCom, double major. Your specialty subject, after scoring 3 on general knowledge, is completely useless facts. Question number 1. What animal cannot stick its tongue out?
The crocodile.
Correct. A snail can sleep for how long?
Up to 3 years.
Correct. By eliminating 1 olive from each salad served in first class, American Airlines saved how much?
Could you repeat the question, please?
Not really.
40,000.
American Airlines, how much?
40,000.
Correct.
US.
Correct. What are babies born without?
Kneecaps.
Correct. If Barbie, the doll, were life-size, her measurements would be?
39, 23, 33. For a bonus point, Rick, she would stand 7'2" and have a neck twice the length of the average female.
Correct. When intoxicated, the ant falls to which side?
The right.
Correct. Approximately how many taste buds does a catfish have?
27,000.
Correct. The most common name in the world?
Pass. Muhammad.
I'm sorry, you passed on that question. The strongest muscle in the body?
Pound for pound, the tongue.
Correct. What is more likely to kill you than a poisonous spider?
A champagne cork.
Correct. Can you kill yourself by holding your breath?
No. No, you cannot, Rick.
That was a request, not a question.
Hi, welcome to our Olympic Centre here in Balmain. It's all about accreditation. When you come through here, you need to get accredited, as most media people do in the Olympics. We are, of course, all accredited. I'm going to bring you through here. This is the lounge room. This is where, after we've been filming, we like to relax sometimes, get things together. This is communications module number 1, where if we want to find out what's going on back in New Zealand, what's happening with the Olympics, we just phone home on that. Going to keep you moving through here. This is the computerwebcenter.com. Here we go. This is where a lot of stuff happens with computers. With the Olympics. If you want to spin around, you can see lovely Eva. She seems to be programming some sort of console to do with the Olympics. So now let's keep moving. Time is money. What's time? Money. Let's go. Here we go through here. This is really where it happens. This is the visual monitor. Oh, Rick Salito has obviously been sending a communications cable back home. This is where it happens, basically. Information comes off that monitor there. We log it, digest it, and turn it into a story. Okay. Basically, I hope that's been helpful. I'm going to probably see you out now. We've got plenty to do to bring you the Olympics live. Of course, these are the 27th Olympiads, so that's fantastic. So thanks for coming, and hope that's been of some help. Okay, thanks very much.
Well, they're everywhere pretty much, these pin traders. And to be honest, it bores me sick. I prefer to trade punches. How about a couple of flicks on the nut for a punch in the guts? What do you reckon?
What?
A couple of flicks on the nuts for a punch in the guts.
What's that mean?
Well, I'll trade you that instead of some pins.
That's
all right.
Where are you from?
That's all right.
It's amazing the expense the Sydney organisers have gone to for the evening entertainment here.
So do you think you can synchronize me?
Not a worry. It doesn't take that much. Just a little bit of practice and a little bit of concentration, we can have you there.
Excuse me? Who's going to synchronize me? Do I need to take my shoes off?
They'll be feeling it now. It'll be burning.
Oh, it's close!
Yes!
And first out! The first out!
Thames Valley.
What's
No.
it? What's it? What does it say? What does it say?
Oh, controversy.
IOU, dollars, kind regards, Warriors. Okay, well, look, there's
How are you feeling?
Ecstatic.
How are you feeling? Like shit?
Pretty
Right,
good.
we'll bring the winners in,
yes,
please.
It's a proud moment. I'll tell you what, there's a bonus point that can be had. There's a ball in the water. The first man in and gets it wins $50. Oh, piss off, mate. Come on.
The Rocky for being the happiest medal winner, gold, silver and bronze, Barbara Kendall, ladies and gentlemen.
I get to see.
Evening. Have a seat, Barbs.
Which is a fairly large couch, isn't it? It's just,
Have a seat too, Leah, if you like.
it is a problem couch, really, but Rick seems to like it.
Red, I like the red couch. So what are you doing now?
Lots of that, I suppose.
Don't worry, it'll firm eventually.
You just having some time off?
No, talking. A lot of talking, all around the countryside, talking.
Who to?
People.
Yeah, no.
That narrows it down.
Students, or are you doing like sports clubs?
Sports awards and school awards and corporate awards and Olympic awards and...
Watch this, Eva, you're going to get sleepy.
I've got a question for you. We go away for like 2 months at a time. You guys go away for 6, 7, 8 months. How do you keep yourself up for that amount of time?
Now, what about the horse? Does that get put out to pasture, or has it had the nasty destruction of its manhood?
Which horse?
Well, your horses.
No, the ones I had at the Olympics, they've gone back to England and they'll be ridden by other riders. I didn't actually own those 2 horses. I Spy was one that we bought in New Zealand and took over there and then sold to some owners. And then somebody else will get to ride them next year.
So you don't sire off those particular...
No, well, they're geldings. They can't do that.
What did you think of Rob Liddell's performance this year?
Oh, Rob Liddell, he's
Trousers are far too short, eh?
He's obviously a dedicated. He's obviously a dedicated athlete, and sorry.
Aussies.
He is a legend, yeah. He did a fantastic job, and he knew in his mind he was going to win. Basically before the race, because he'd done those regattas in Europe previous to that, and so he went in with all. He crossed his eyes and crossed his T's and dotted his I's before he went. And crossed his T's and dotted.
We'll probably
it's
stop
fantastic.
there.
I actually saw you just after you won your medal, and it looks like you've been doing a bit of weights. You put on a bit of...
Yeah, I put on a bit of weight, yeah. I had to get a bit stronger. Put on 14 Ks after the games, yeah.
How do you go about doing that?
I just ate like that.
It's easy, mate. We actually saw you...
Hey, you don't put 14K in the gut there, did he?
Have you done much sailing?
Well, I used to be a seaman.
Sailing's considered to be a gentleman's sport.
So have we got good boat speed today?
Very good boat speed.
What time are you going to crack that up?
I mean, you look up and you see the time. It's under 2 hours 9. You go, oh my God! And you go down. Yes, I did stagger. You're right.
Quite right.
There it is. I'm bending down. You go down.
Yes!
Yeah!
Yes!
He could have been a footy great, oh yeah.
No, he could not.
But he left his run too late, oh yeah.
Couldn't even run. He was useless.
But if only they knew how good he really was.
He was never good. Ever.
He could have been a footy great, oh yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Helen Clark actually partook in running up the Sky Tower.
Yeah.
And she's doing it again this year too.
Yeah, but I mean,
Will you knock her
Helen
over?
walks. With all due respect, Helen walks up. I mean, I could put her on the back and run up with her faster than she could walk up.
So here we are in front of the Russell Crowe's childhood house in Mount Roskill. Isn't it amazing?
You should toss her inside lane.
No, I'm the biggest tosser.
Are you...
Go!
How long have you spent in the bush at one time? I mean, not the actual town. I mean, is it months or years?
When I go bush, boy, it's usually for a couple of weeks. Yeah. 'Cause you don't want to be there all year.
What's your favourite plot?
Do you cook over an open fire?
Hey?
Do you cook over an open fire?
Well, when we're on tour, we usually dine at the Y.
Talking.
Morning, Mr. Guy. Just like to know if you're getting the minibar last night.
No.
Hotel, how are you doing?
I'm totally confused. It's like these rings. They actually come straight off, don't they? Look, actually, see if you can get that bottom one. Actually,
I used to do that when I was little.
did you? Did I give you the speaking part, did I?
Let's line it up.
You talked about that it had always been your dream to race in the Pikes Peak. I mean, how did you first find out about it?
Yeah. It goes back a long way. When I was 15 years old, I was looking at some magazines and flipping the pages over.
There are other magazines.
Like, if I was to get in a fight with you, and my only chance would be to get you in a headlock from behind and hope like hell. What would you do in that scenario?
If you got me in a headlock?
Yeah, from behind, like a choker hold.
Okay, grab me from behind.
Please don't hurt me.
Hey, Twatty, you always get smart to the Maori boys at Rugby Tuesday.
Like, what's
Stop!
Don't be playing with the package.
I don't think it's going to be a problem.
Don't make the bloody thing easy. Then there will be trouble.
Okay, so illegal technique. So this might be the first illegal technique. So just here like this.
It's falling off. Call him a savage, Mecca.
The front of the fly. Do that about 5 more times.
Well, I don't think it'll take 5. So basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to string techniques together. So the first one was here, take it a little bit higher here, and then you might just add sort of something here. So if you want to add something to that, so we go 1, we go 2, and then you go like this, put it together.
Nice. Good control.
Please.
When you look back as I do, my mega memory comes through. I couldn't remember doing anything wrong, so here's the reason for my song. I could have been a footy great, oh yeah, but I left my run too late, oh yeah. If only they knew how good I really was. I could have been a footy great, oh yeah.
What was, do you remember touring with Bushy?
Yeah, I do. We had a little pack going. Bushy was always good to us, and I sort of spoke to the management of the All Blacks once, and I think this guy should come to one of our Sunday sessions. You know, he does a good job for us, and you know, the beer was free, wasn't it, Bushy? It was a lot better.
So the Sunday session was where some beer was consumed?
Oh, just a little bit, you know, with just to sort of set the seal for the day. It was always in the morning, 10 o'clock, and it was...
How did you cope, Bushy? Did you...
He did well.
I stood up pretty well,
Yeah.
if I can say so.
But mind you, it was 40 years ago, wasn't it?
That's right.
Here we are with the sausage eating champion.
Hello.
How many sausages can you eat?
Heaps.
Like how many?
I did 8 in a minute.
I can do better than that.
The rumour is you probably could too.
We'll see you next week on When Stuff Goes Bad and Things Attack. But we'll leave you with this.
player against any sport that's boring. Golf would be the most boring game in the world. There's a tiny wee ball, it goes in a hole in the ground. Whose idea was that? I mean, even when they're filming it, they have to look around for seagulls and magpies so they can make the film look interesting. It's a hopeless game.
Yeah.
It's like playing badminton. At least with badminton, you go to the pub between hits. Why put that on television? I mean, at least you guys are in a combat sport where you break one of those bones and you kill one another. That's all right.
You enjoy cricket?
Cricket? No, Christ, no, cricket. It's like watching mould grow on a plate, isn't it? Who, you know, when I was at school, only bisexual people played cricket.
Marooned on non-celebrity Traffic Island.
Hi, welcome to Non-Celebrity Traffic Island. This is the show where people who aren't quite celebrities, who have very little chance of ever being a celebrity, get a chance to be marooned on a traffic island.
Delirium sets in and you're sort of thinking, really got to make a decision now, and you know, the boys sort of do come up trumps, so.
The red and blue teams are both tired and hungry, but then Graham finds a clue.
Guys, a clue.
It means
Emotion this way.
It's hard, to say the least. We've got to pull more together as a team. We're not working as a unit, and the other team have been so close on so many times. We can feel them breathing down our backs. Bloody hard.
Haven't eaten any toffee pops. I don't even like the bloody things, but I've been craving them.
Well, at the end of the day, it was my brilliant idea to order the pizza, and remember last week when we voted some guy off? Well, it's that time again. The big vote off.
Well, I think the program's rigged, so I think I won't be voted off straight away.
We say goodbye to Handyman Graham. It's emotional, but then drama.
Is that a few people ringing up?
Yeah, no, I know, but I didn't actually realise we needed a permit to make crap TV programs.
Join us next week on Non-Celebrity Traffic Island.
Clive, there have been one or two unsavoury incidents in your television career, none more so, I guess, than the incident at the Hefner Mansion, the Playboy Mansion.
The Playboy Mansion, when I accidentally got into the swimming pool with the 3 Playboy playmates. It was the total misunderstanding.
Mark's hanging out for an invite.
Well,
he has a party once a year, doesn't he? And you know,
yeah, but these 7 girls who are called Brandy, Mandy, Candy, Dandy, Zandy, you know, they go to bed with him every night, and according to his according to his publicist, that does not happen to him. That doesn't happen to him. And then in the morning he has breakfast. He's unaffected. Yeah? He never does what you just did there.
Mark, it's not that Mandy.
Todd, this is a Rocky Award, 2001. It's the People's Rocky Award. It's fantastic. It's voted by the people. You're the winner of that Rocky Award, so there you go.
Thank you very much to all the people that voted for me, and of course SportsCafe, and it is a great privilege and an honour, and thank you very much.
how important are the wickets in Australia as opposed to New Zealand? Because we've obviously got seamers wickets, green, and give a bit of sideways movement, whereas the Aussies are pace tracks.
Yeah, nice to bet on.
Chewing, Mark?
Sure.
Yeah, no, they're nice to bet on, so, yeah.
Can any of the girls bowl a bouncer? Like one...
I've got a few scars. And
what a sexist comment.
Well, no, girls don't bowl as fast as men, Rick.
No,
Is that sexist?
Are you calling Mark sexist? Rick, hush your mouth.
Please. Would you say that Mark was a big sort of influence in your career, you know, being down in Otago and...
Mark Ellis?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was very... very disappointing when Mark went to league because he was probably at the peak of his rugby career, and the boys certainly missed him, probably more off the field than on it.
Did you have
a peak? Yeah, you'd love to see it.
Cafe with Rico Chaco.
Is the difference in sprinting still pretty black and white between black and white people?
Did you?
No, it's reasonable, isn't it? I mean, the black people have got a bit more twitch muscles. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, the black dominated at the World Youth.
They
But
did?
yeah, white are coming through.
I reckon we've been ripped off, eh? The Anglo-Saxons, we can't sing, we can't dance. Speak for yourself. We're slow, we're small, in body stature.
Ready, steady, go!
Yeah, I'm 70 kilos.
Are you a fan of Rowan Atkinson?
Yeah, funny you should mention it because people keep going up to him and saying, "Hey, you're a famous pole climber."
Right, That's the way it used to be.
That's where games are won or lost, you know. It's if your forwards do the job, you know, you're 95% of the way there. And these guys have been doing the job most of the year.
And it's good that the Australian media are really picking up on it and sort of just praising our fullback, aren't they?
Oh, for sure.
I can't ignore it now, can I?
No, I mean, we've always been known to have a huge physical forward pack. This year we're just sort of, I don't know, just delivering, I think.
How's the book going?
Oh,
Did you ever think you'd write a book?
no.
Did you write anything in that book?
Watching the build-up from afar, I mean, you know, when the guys were in China and stuff like that, you couldn't obviously get home. I mean, has that been frustrating for you?
Yeah, a little bit. It is. You want to be a part of the team, and even the Australian series. The guys called us up and let us know what was going on. And you want to be a part of it so much, but yet you're so happy for them that they could go through that experience.
Must be a tough showering experience with some of those big black fellas.
There it is. He's back.
Well, let's be honest, Christ almighty, I mean...
Tough for some, Mark. Don't feel insecure, okay?
There are securities and insecurities everywhere, but by Christ, there's no way you catch me without a pair of togs with those fellas.
Still going to Sri Lanka? Because they blow stuff up over there too, don't they?
It's still a schedule there, so I'm not sure what the politics in that is.
You guys are not worried about it?
Oh, I suppose you're a little bit worried about it, but...
Do you have security? What happens? You just go over there and hope for the best, or are you pretty much... What's...
Well, in Pakistan, it was really professional with security. Like, we had a guy with us, and wherever we went, we had a motorcade of police and army sort of guys, and I would imagine if they're going to Sri Lanka...
Still didn't work, though.
Well, no, we also had 100 armed guards with us in the hotel at all times, 24 hours a day. And
What? How many?
100 armed guards on your floor, level of your... on the floor of your building, every exit and entrance, and, you know, if a suicide bomber
That's what
wants to do
the,
something, then there's nothing you can do anyway.
New Zealand Colts are taking away on their next trip. Now that was going to be your... sorry, Sean. That was going to be your test debut, wasn't it? That test.
Yeah, the second test there, but I was at breakfast in the morning of the game, yeah.
Yeah. Quite happy to get out of there.
Blew the Sogo building away, yeah.
But, you know, they're always tough, very physical up front, and I'm sure with Red Australian charge, they'll be pretty tough with their set pieces and well drilled.
Ruben, I was just wondering, this is in a test match on there for full 80 minutes. What happens if someone needs to do poos, something like that? She actually wanted to know, it wasn't me. Thank you.
You've actually played some rugby in your time?
Yeah.
Coming from Christchurch, of course.
Yeah. I played for Prebbleton Women's Rugby and Canterbury Schoolgirls for 3 years.
Oh, what position?
Flanker, number 7.
Prebbleton
Right.
Women's Rugby sounds like a prison team. And far be it for me to say that you look like an inmate, but, you know,
Are you?
have you got
is
the
it
ability
because
to...
I'm black? Is it because I'm Māori?
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, you know what? You're right. And I've been to Rolleston Prison, and it's great. It's good for rugby training.
Yeah.
I bet you it is. Yeah, that'd be hell, it's good.
But for someone so young and so talented, it's...
Do you think I can
sorry
dance?
to put you
Do you
through
think I
this.
can dance?
Oh, my God.
I don't go there.
Is that because I'm white?
Yeah. How stressful is it when you're in the water and you go between the buoys and you have to go back on yourself and go around a buoy?
Oh, when I went the wrong way? Oh, that was actually fine. Like, the commentator said it was a major issue, but it was actually worked really well for me because when you're leading the swim, it's about 20% harder because when you're on someone's feet, they're moving the water in front, and so that kind of pulls you along. And so by fortunately just going a little bit the wrong way, I could then slip back into third place, and so I could swim a bit easier.
Hey you, Baldy. Yes, you. Sick of being the bald guy? Are you sick of the same old wigs and toupees? A catskin toupee is the answer to your dreams. Say to baldness. We have all your favorite colors and styles, including Hasselhoff Tabby, James Cobra and White, Elvis Black, Sideburns not included, Bouffant Burmese. That's right, genuine New Zealand-made catskin toupees. But wait, there's more. For you crazy guys, there's a new Feral Fantastic. It's wild. Brrr.
Welcome.
Pigeon racing. Is it a big sport here in New Zealand?
Not really.
Where do they race from to?
There's clubs right throughout New Zealand, like probably about 30 odd clubs in most main centres throughout New Zealand. But here in Auckland, they race from south to north.
Matamata is the only loft in Auckland, the only viewing loft in Auckland.
Well, Matamata's not in Auckland.
Well,
sorry, mate.
In the greater Auckland area.
Would the people of Matamata that regard themselves as Aucklanders please write to Mark?
Tell Royce Willis that as well.
Hi, welcome to Speed Cooking 3 with you. Right next door I've got a lovely date who's waiting for me to prepare a nice fantastic meal for her. Of course, we'll be doing the meal in under 3 minutes and I'll be wearing a straitjacket throughout the whole procedure.
Smells good. Anything to drink?
I put everything in the bread, mate. It's fantastic. It's great. I swear, mate. You can't overcook it. The more pressure you put in there, the better. Time for the chicken. The chicken, we've got to defrost that.
Or any speed endurance
No, I don't
events?
do any speed. No.
Rick's been practicing all day. Just to let you know that everyone else got invited here 5 minutes before the show tonight, got given a pair of boots and told to go out and skate. Oh, there they go. That was how it all began. Yeah. A relationship. Oh, nice. Oh!
So we are at Rangaruri, and they've got like a petrol station and everything, and they've got this real cool bar. Be able to tell me if you've got like any sporting legends here in town?
Here?
Yeah.
Tawara Nikau lives down there, right?
The most coveted prize in New Zealand, chopping, must be something called the Bolstead Prize, surely.
Yeah, there's one, the Sonny Bolstead Prize at Rotorua. Yeah, so there's one there.
I didn't know that.
Didn't you?
I mean, Sonny Bolstead was an absolute legend. I mean, I met him when I was a youngster and he shaved his arm with an axe.
Yes, yeah.
Which I thought was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's amazing. He was an incredible axeman.
Yeah.
And now David, his son, is really, really good.
And the other thing too was he had a bit of a piss locker on him, which was, which is not a bad thing. I mean, to see a sportsman, Merv Hughes, that's why he loved him, David Boone. You know, anyone who can lock away a couple of pots and also compete at the top of their sport has my absolute bloody respect.
Okay.
Let's go again.
No.
Can we go again? Make an endurance event.
Just go back to the World Championships. The whole national anthem thing, what's that like? Because we could do a national anthem for you here if you want.
Yeah, the national anthem was a buzz. I mean, in rowing you only get it if you win a gold at a World Champs, so we don't get any other time. So when you hear it played, it's pretty awesome.
Come on, faster than that.
We'll just fill up for a little bit while we wait for that guy to actually go and get Chris Dixon, who has won this prestigious award tonight.
just clear one thing up. You didn't actually get any punches in on that guy that tackled the ref, right?
No, I got a bit of credit for it, but it was AJ Venter that got him the good ones. And,
What did it look like up close? What was the look on his face? Because we couldn't see and you could.
He's an angry, just
Man.
real angry. He
Really?
didn't seem drunk or anything like that. He just seemed real angry. And the worst thing was, after he'd been dragged off, he wanted to come back for another crack. And
Have you got anything you want to thank, like Andre Watson or the guys that made the Eddie Spoil or something like that?
Yeah, I'm afraid I can't comment too freely on that, Rick.
What about the duck call? What's with the duck call that you do at the end of the interview?
Yes, that's right, Rick. Yes.
Waitemata were relegated to second division one day, and I got to play the Iceman, and he was open side flanker.
It's
and
dangerous as a second five,
I was
isn't
the second 5'8".
Yeah.
The only day I didn't want to play anymore.
Did you last long, or did he just cut you
Well,
in
he
half?
came running off the ruck. Our scrum was going backwards, of course. Our halfback was going backwards. He fed it to the first 5'8", who was actually running backwards, and I'm second. So I come out of the Bill Osborne day. You know, we take it up hard, distribute it, take the knocks. God, Bill was great. And then I saw Michael, the Iceman, coming at me, so I proceeded to hit him with one of my strong Jake the Mus fins.
But you left that fend at home, did you?
But then suddenly my arm suddenly buckled. Then my feet suddenly went up in the air. And I remember looking at the grass and suddenly going like a torpedo towards it. And even entering into the earth a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. All the boys get on really well.
Multicultural team, so yeah, the coach is there, and we were all invited all the families into trainings, and apart from that, everything's running smoothly.
Yeah, everything was running so smoothly, and then on the way to the wedding, my parents spontaneously combusted.
That must have been terrible for you.
Well, really, it was before I was born.
You want a bash?
You're not in Guatemala now, Dr. Butter Chicken.
I never said I was. By the way, it's Dr. Buddha-Shakan. I could bash anyone in this clinic I wanted to. Rachel the alcoholic, maybe even Steve. How about those blues, eh?
If you are underwater and you do come face to face with a great white, unlikely in that they will see you, and if they want to eat you, they'll eat you before you see them. But if you do, you're meant to swim at it. And the logic is that they don't have a predator in the ocean, so a fish going at it is a rarity. They all run away.
Well, they might think it's a bonus. I'll just open them out.
Merv's the bloke with the sore leg. Sore because a shark bit it.
Yeah, I cast my bait out and ended up being the bait, mate.
What happened?
I don't know. I sort of shot out into the surf, went out knee deep, and Sweet came in. This is just before I cast my line. I cast my rod, and then I turned to come back into shore, and yeah, mate, I was taking his live bait. I knew exactly what was happening when it happened, mate. I knew it was a shark. Spun around, and I saw him there. He was quite long. I pushed him off at the butt of my rod. I sort of took a couple of steps, and there was quite a bit of blood in the water, and he came for a second bite, and I hit him again. The fisherman either side of me must have thought the coming across was at hand because of the big Maori running across the top of the water.
So-called recovery session, which is a bit of a wank if you ask me, but we're going to go for a swim.
Baldness travels on the, well, not so much travels, but on your mother's side of the family. Your mother's father also does colour blindness.
So are you saying my mum was bald, or...?
No, I'm saying she's colourblind.
Some of the basic moves in netball, the passes, for example.
First pass is the chest pass, which is from your chest to mine.
Right.
And the next one would be the bounce pass.
You see, with...
Michelle, I'll be honest with you. I'm not happy with the direction that trolley racing's taken anymore. It's you know, it's all rock music. It's silly costumes. It's not what it's about.
Okay.
It's about you know, being true to yourself, being close to the ground, you know, breathing the asphalt and just going for it. And
Okay.
I mean, we're talking, you know, to me, it's about getting from the top of the hill to the bottom of the hill.
Going round the corner, look at that. That's a look of sheer terror. Running now. Hot on the heels. Grease Lightning nearly took it out.
Was the the golf from Evan. This is A. This is one hell of a sporting trick. We did have to edit the fire because it took a long time. Look at this. Oh, there. Well done. There he is. There's Evan. Contestant B. And Justin's with us tonight from Blenheim. Not only once.
Justin doing the shooting or the cameraman? Is that Justin with the hat on?
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Contestant C, Mark, is the one that didn't win the bull poker.
When Oz first come up from Wanganui, he's a bit of a green young fella, because he comes straight out of the bush. And
I'm not allowed to swear on TV.
we got him into crosswords to try and increase his vocabulary, because he didn't really have one, you know. And myself and Walter Little took it upon ourselves to get him into crosswords. So we gave him this book on the plane, and he's flying through this crossword, and but every clue was only 3 letters long, because we didn't want to make it too hard, you know. And he's flying through this crossword, and he's looking pretty happy with himself because he was doing it pretty easy. And then he got stuck, and the clue he got stuck on was the 3-letter word for taxi. And he had the first letter was the C. And me and Walter sort of like, come on, Oz, you can do it. He's going, shit, this is a tough one, bro, you know. And then the lights went on. He goes, oh, shit, he writes car.
You two guys were mates in the sevens, and then you get in a situation where a mate is fighting for your position. I mean, how do you handle something like that?
Oh, we were pretty good. Like, we were mates before that, and when Cully went, you can't go against Cully, mate. He was faster. He had a bigger step. He could tackle. He could run. He could do everything, you know. So
he went to Japan?
Yeah, exactly. even though you're fighting for the same position, you know, we're all part of that New Zealand culture. So, you know, even though he's there, I still have to support him, and he was primo. Even though, you know, I wanted to, Jesus, Cully, you know. But he's outstanding, as you know. He's got the record for tries and this and that, and he scored the most amazing tries. Great player, without a doubt.
What's your favourite try? Have you got a favourite try when you look back at them?
Oh, probably one I remember is that one Dunedin against Aussie when Zinni caught that bomb and threw that pass across the field and that one there.
Martin, if you're going to be the surfer that I think you can be, you're going to have to listen. You're going to have to be one with the ocean, to be the elephant seal. It's the elephant seal. It's the grace and the movement and being one with the sea. Do you understand, Martin?
Yes, but...
Well, for one, the worst thing was that shot was the only shot I could get a run with. But the problem was every time I played it, I got the cramps. But I got it in the hammies, and I'd get it mid-shot, follow through, then it would go from one hammy to the other hammy. But then as I was falling, something went in my stomach, so I had to straighten that out. And then when I tried to straighten my legs out, I got it in the opposing muscles. So I was just lying on the ground writhing in pain. I didn't know what to do, really.
Is that dehydration? What causes that sort of cramp?
I know, it was bloody funny.
It looked quite painful. I'm going from the compassionate side here.
Did you see the funny side?
Probably 3 days of not eating and having the shits, really.
Yeah.
That's what got me, yeah.
What about the noise? I mean, that's one time with the microphone and the stump. It's a prick of a thing, because you did squeal like a young child, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a little girl out there. Yeah.
I did a promo last week, and it was probably inappropriate at the time slot. I forgot that Friends is the most popular show in the nation, and
well, it's 7 o'clock at night, basically, 7:30 at night.
7:30, and well, basically this is what I showed, this bit of footage during that show.
What are the chances of me catching one here today?
It's pretty slim.
watching their expressions on their faces, just even when we were getting our medals, it was just terrible. I mean, when we went over to the Commonwealth Games, I mean, we kind of experienced what they were going through, and like we were like, you know, in the other way, we kind of switch roles kind of thing. So it was just awesome. I mean, any team that beats Australia is just awesome.
You had the whole ground.
Did you have
It's played down in Canterbury, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Are you
Okay, I'd like to see a Taranaki supporter do a streak down there, please.
Are you quite willing to pay the fine?
Yeah, bloody oath. We'll pay the fine.
Oh,
Sports Cafe will look after it. So,
No way. No. Are you retracting the call for people to streak?
Be very careful here, Mark.
no.
Good.
I think you should.
No, what I'm doing, in fact, is I'll up the ante, and I'll say $1,500 per person beaten. If you make it onto the field, and make it onto the field legitimately, and you pass your lips quivering.
Well, I just think of the paperwork, the contracts for this one, it's going to take me at least 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, I will need to ensure that if caught by the cops, they don't mention my name, but if you get on there and you beat a security guard, per security guard you beat, we'll give you $1,500.
Will, I like that.
We'll give you $1,500, and if it's a woman, we'll give you $2,000.
This is without permission.
Hi, welcome to my home, welcome to the kitchen. We're going to do a fabulous dinner today. I've got some really great recipes, some of my personal favourites.
How long is this going to take, Amy?
Well, the pan takes about an hour to cook, so we better get going. I'll get the eggs. Okay. Right. Okay, right. Probably work, wouldn't it? It's quite a good idea.
No, fast food's out. Yeah.
Lightly sprinkle them over. I think they're marvelous for a salad.
Don't get much time to cook myself these days, so it's probably just as well, really.
Because, I mean, naturally there's a question that everyone in New Zealand is asking themselves, and that is, can it be used in a social sense? Lana, sleep? Lana, when you wake up, you're going to accidentally knock your pen off the table. You're going to probably bend down and you're going to pick that up. And whilst down there...
Mark, sleep. You're going to get sloppy seconds.
See, that's why we love a pommy, isn't it?
That's very northern. That's very northern humour.
Thank you. Wake up. just looking at the photo of the pair of you, I've got a question. You were both, you know, very, very quick. Very quick. Two of the fastest swingers in world rugby. How quick do you think you could have been if you had normal-sized ears?
See, yours, well, this the guy we're talking to, you mightn't have heard of him. His name's Mark Ellis.
Oh, well, actually, I think he played for the All Blacks, didn't he?
Yeah. We used to call him Mercury because he's built like a thermometer, man.
Oh, okay.
What about
Eric, what are you actually doing over in Australia for the World Cup? Have you got an official role on behalf of all of New Zealand, or are you there just doing a bit of commentary?
No, I'm just sort of skiving off, really. Like the other 20,000 Maoris over here.
There you go.
Yeah, I appreciate
Look how lame he is.
Not since we were all thinking which one from ABBA we'd like to shag, has streaking captured the imagination of the country. And lack of company wasn't stopping this young larrikin from feeling the wind in his loins and the gentle rub of Cooch Rye mix in the crotch. Others fared less well and gave an opportunity for Ma'anonu to really impress. Misguided naturalism. We thought it would never end.
Can't
Constable Scott and Constable Taylor are walking the city beat. It's a typical day for the boys from Speedo Division.
You see, this isn't really a typical day.
We think we have a deceased person, aforementioned, is over there. So we're going to take a look, and you can come in, but try to keep your distance a little bit. We've been trained.
Scott and Taylor must examine the situation. Detail is important, and they must be careful not to disturb the delicate crime scene.
Basically, we've ascertained that the aforementioned victim is deceased. You probably noticed me doing something with my Speedo drawstring. We're not supposed to be on the crime scene at this point. We're the first here, but we're not forensic experts. So what I was doing, instead of tampering with the scene, I was using my drawstring to touch evidence, so as not to contaminate, and also to check if the aforementioned victim was in fact breathing and was not in fact deceased, as aforementioned earlier by myself. I've got to tell you, it's not pretty from up here.
Rick, I've got a question, mate.
Here you go.
Alison, do you shave?
Yes.
I mean, do you shave your body? It's a performance enhancer.
Yeah,
you know, Rushy takes drugs when he plays rugby.
I shave everything.
Yeah, everything?
Everything.
Yeah.
What about you?
Everything.
Except my hair.
Maybe.
So in the Naki, you know, with the ideal growing conditions,
No.
it's in the Lucan's I'm not talking about marijuana, please. Talking about magic mushrooms is something more sinister. More bloody sinister than dope in you, mate, isn't it?
Down the coast, mate. Down the coast.
How many did it take to get to the state that you're in?
Yeah, well, let's just ask you a question about the footy. About the footy.
Yep.
Taranaki's playing Auckland this weekend.
Yep.
How do you think it's going to go, Horse?
Well, you know as well as I do, Rick. You guys are losing me to nothing. Oh, Jesus, I love this game.
You know, one flew over the cuckoo's nest.
How many could you stuff in your mouth at once?
We had a look at all the different permutations. Certainly there were some guys who were close to selection. We had a look at fullback. You know, we've got an outstanding player there in Chris Latham. Yeah, we want to be expressive on Saturday. We want to go out there and do our absolute best and really go out there and enjoy ourselves. And that's what we'll be intending to do.
Hi, you look very excited. What just happened? They just scored. Scott, do you come to all the games? No, I'm just here on holiday. You've never been to the league before? No. What do you think? Good. What do you like most about it? The excitement, the crowd. So show me your best cheer tonight. Do me a jump around. So obviously you're not very happy tonight. You're leaving?
No, not happy at all. Spewing, man.
Why?
Not happy. Why? The scoreboard will tell you. Exactly that. It's shocking, man. They're sleeping out there. They're not performing at all. It's unbelievable.
So you're quite passionate about this. What do you like most about the rugby?
The atmosphere.
The atmosphere?
All my friends get together, we all come down and support a team that we love, and they lose.
We managed to do enough in 15 minutes to win the game, and that's going to be very, very handy on Saturday night.
Do you think it's wrong to perhaps to compare teams of different eras, like, say, the 1905 All Blacks with the 1956 Wallabies, for example?
No. The All Black mystique has any sway at all over the Wallabies?
Well, I think we certainly respect them, the best in the world, and for us it's New Zealand. You know, they're the ones that we've always competed most strongly against.
Yeah, let's head over to Melbourne, and of course that guy's there with a very special guest. Who's there with you?
Yeah, well, I didn't actually know I was supposed to get a guest, as I say. I
think this thing was going to happen, this half-assed thing. I'm lucky even got the show up there off the ground, to be honest, but I've got a guess.
Brilliant.
And South African forward, Kobus Wiese, well, ex-South African forward, I might add. And we've been talking earlier.
He makes you look like mini-me.
He's what?
He makes you look like mini-me.
Makes me look like mini-me. I'll make the jokes this end, eh?
It's really unfortunate to go from the dancing girls to a shot of you. Sorry.
Hey, look at yourself.
Sam, you were at the game, weren't you?
I was, yeah. I was actually commentating for Channel 7.
Oh, no.
A job for which I am spectacularly unqualified. And, yeah, and of course I was gutted at the end like we all were, but not gutted for me or even for New Zealand, but for those 30 blokes who I think have played their heart out this year. They're a spectacular side and completely inspirational. And I was also gutted for the real possibility that they have to go home to 3 million misery guts.
Yeah.
What about you, Michael? You've been away playing golf. Did you actually get to see the game, or?
Unfortunately not. Well, fortunate enough, no, I didn't see it at all. I was actually in Kiwa Island playing for New Zealand in the World Cup in golf, obviously, and in America, you know, rugby's like way down the list, so I didn't see it at all. And woke up the next morning and turned on the internet and saw this horrible dream come true, really. And then the next day, actually, we actually played with the Australian team the next day, funny enough. And
they give you a bit of lip?
Well, I'll tell you a story. I got to my golf clubs. On every single golf club, my drive, my three wood, my one iron, down to my pitching wedge, my putter had 22-10, 22-10. Everywhere. Over my golf balls, over my golf gloves, over my sunscreen, over my bag. And
You've replaced me with Russian.
She's an Australian.
I am a Kiwi.
Does somebody need a hug? Come on.
No.
Sorry.
Привет, Ева. Как дела? Excuse me.
I don't know now. I think.
Yeah, you can go away.
I think.
Because they're actually lovely. Oh.
Look, this is England, you know? This is England. Look like England, you know? Arrogant, no respect, everything you want.
No respect.
Hey. Look at that. And kiss my fucking ass, man.
Another one of these things, thanks very much for that. It'll go on my mantelpiece. It's awesome. Thanks very much for inviting me here, and it's awesome. Thank you. Is that good enough?
Is there seriously nothing better than seeing a winger score in the corner? Because as a winger, you know, I used to think that you guys must get really pissed off with it because the Glory boys were on the outside and they scored the tries, and you must prefer a good bind and ruck and over we go as a forward pack. Surely, be honest.
Well, I actually scored 7 tries in the Super 12, and not one of them was out in the open, so I sort of thought that I got a bit of shit for that. So I was quite happy to see some boys score in the corner. But
fair's fair.
Richie McCourt, no questions about you, mate. Bloody well done.
Yeah, awesome,
fantastic
mate.
year.
Oh, this is pretty much where it all happened. I was feeling pretty down after the All Blacks lost. I went in search of answers all the same. I got on the wrong train and ended up here, about 300 miles from Sydney, in a place called Katoomba. I didn't think things could get much worse than that, but that night they did. I got abducted by aliens.
After a few drinks at my hotel, I went to bed, and that's when it happened. The following was a dramatic recreation. I was taken to the mothership on a tractor beam. It was big. While I was there, they did all sorts of experiments on me. One, of course, was the rectal mind probe. This involved sticking a cumbersome device up my backside and downloading information. God only knows what they hope to achieve. I can't even send a fax that way. I woke up hours later, deep in the Blue Mountains. I was all alone. I struggled back to Katoomba, confused and angry that they hadn't used the faster modem.
They say about Katoomba it either makes or breaks you within 7 years.
This guy's been here for 8.
Welcome to Hyundai Sports Cafe. You may have noticed that we have a new...
Rick, stuff that down the front, mate. You're making a disgrace of yourself.
So can you juggle just about anything?
Yeah.
No.
It's not the sponsor's product. Sorry, mate.
Oh, you can't juggle that.
But we can do this one for you.
Oh,
eat it! Eat it! Eat it!
That's tremendous.
Now it's your turn.
No, don't.
No, he'll have a
No,
go.
don't, Mark.
Yeah, that's it. There's a little shark.
Don't.
It's got the little shark things in
That's
the middle
okay,
of it.
look, I've got some paper. Hang on, wait,
bleeding now.
Don't, Mark.
No, but look. Oh.
What's...
We've come such a long way, and what's really important is to, in our own minds, to have that belief that we can play well against that group, right, and understand the things that we've got to take care of. And today at practice we worked on the defensive side of things that are important, and I still don't know whether we did all of them well consistently at practice today. So you got that?
Big game this weekend.
Yeah.
Well, good luck. All the best. It's a big game this weekend.
But yeah, we're working on all parts of our game.
Fantastic. Thanks for your time. Good luck. We're
trying to work on our defense. It's been our weakness all year, so it's pretty much what we do every training, working on our defense and our offense.
Yeah, every time you're on the court, if you're under no shirt, it's pretty physical out there. But yeah, we're working on all parts of our game.
I've been doing multi-sport for quite a few years, and an old mate found a newspaper article from the Wanganui paper in 1996 and had a picture of me in a boat, and I sort of forgot about that. But it's the last sort of 2 or 3 years that I've really focused, just on this flat water racing.
Can you run fast?
I can go okay.
What about the decathlon?
There's no canoeing in the decathlon.
I know that, but he's a multi-sporter and he, physically very strong, athletic. And we haven't had a decathlon.
Well, he's doing quite well in the canoeing at the moment, so just...
Oh, well, I'm sorry, Rick. I wasn't asking you, you fat prick. You
The wind's good. The boys are all happy. All the Samoans are singing in the showers and everything's good.
Do you get involved in the singing?
Yeah, I struggle on some of the words. I tend with some of those Samoan songs, I know the first verse, but tend to miss the words in the second verse more. I'm no language expert, so I'd probably say Leiloa fa Samoa. Something along those lines. We've got no, I don't think we've got any Tongans in the team yet, so I can't use my Toi Kai Lavalia Whakatonga, but I'm working on it.
On a cold grey Chicago morning, a poor little baby child is born in the ghetto.
And that's exactly where that belongs, in the ghetto. I don't think you're going to go through to the next round, not at all.
Team-wise, dynamic-wise, we probably performed a little bit better, but their talent shone through right towards the end, and they had key players stand up, which is also important, whereas our key players didn't feature in this last test as they should have. So they played very well. Gary Kirsten played well, and Graham Smith.
That's something that's also coming to your game is the cuddle. Something that seems to, I know that you've been described as a retrosexual on the weekend, but the cuddle seems to be, you seem to be a cuddler out there.
Yeah, it's an emotive thing, really. You actually don't know you're doing it, and so then when you get back in the dressing room and you see the celebrations of wickets, it's the moment that takes you. So.
Hyundai Tapo. Isn't that very self-intuitive? Mark, you've been here for 3 hours. Have you been drinking before the show?
He's
So
made
that
a
sort of-
special friend that he's brought out onto the show, and he's been playing with it
quite passionately, actually.
Mark,
You like me massaging you with that, Lana, and play your cards right and you could be with a half sniff later on.
Oh.
Probably the biggest challenge about playing golf for the average man is that you get stuck with these boring pricks who are right into golfing etiquette.
Right.
And I could imagine at your level of the game, you must play golf with some absolute twats. I mean, guys you would never have a beer with. What's that like? That must be tough. That'll put you off your game.
Well, put it this way, Mac, we won't be playing together again. Is that what you say? Is that what you say?
Yeah, Mike, I'm beside some big river now. Do you know anything about that one?
That's the Waikato River, mate.
Oh, the old Waikato. The old Wakachangi. Wakachang-chang. Wakachukachaga. Old Misty, old lady. Wakaching-ching. Wakatumba. Thanks, mate. Gotta go.
Taking caller number 9, you'll take away the Shania Twain CD. A lot of interest in this. Caller 6.
We're still live here, Mike. How many trips would you do a day?
Why? What have you heard?
No pressure.
And that'll be the story of Mark's life, coming up about a foot short.
I've met you a couple of times off the field, and you seem like a totally lovely person. And on the field, you're a complete nutcase, you know? What's the story there? Is that white line fever?
Yeah, I believe you have to be a little bit nuts to play the game of rugby. And you've got to have a split personality. I think you must be a total pig on the field, and then when you get off, have a beer with the boys. I mean, look at Mark. He's a great example of that.
Corne, one question that springs to mind. I mean, you must have been bloody happy you didn't win the World Cup. Simply because, if you had, there would have been more of that nude in the swamp butt padding nonsense. But quite frankly, I would condone in this environment. In a rugby team, hey, let's be honest.
Not good.
What was that all about?
You do have to take us change the air.
Who would be your favourite rugby league player of all time?
Oh, well, you know, that goes without saying. I think that would have to be the wonderful man I share my life with. But if I had to choose...
Oh, you're here, you wanker. He's here. He was worried. He came along. There he is. He's ruined my night. Jump in and join me, pal. Come on.
Great, hey, mate. Shit. Any chance of being on?
Wait, mate, what are you doing?
As you know, baseball, well, maybe you don't know, but it requires a modicum of skill, and it's mostly hand-eye coordination, and taking the steroids doesn't actually make you a better player, it just makes you a bigger player. Yeah. It's not exactly like you're moving refrigerators out there.
Well, why don't we just move into the world of steroids and embrace it?
All right, let's go into the world of steroids.
Well, why don't we embrace it? I mean, you know, we can have the small man's Olympics, and we can have the Colossus Olympics.
I agree.
People just pumping the shit out of themselves. Sure, they'll die in a couple of years, but they'll be good to watch.
I agree.
How much for a dozen bluff oysters in Dunedin at the moment?
I'm not really sure if there's that many, actually.
He's a rugby player, they don't pay for anything.
You don't pay for anything, bro. Exactly.
Rashi knows, do I have to pay for this in 15 different languages?
Yeah.
Nosotros no pagamos.
See?
What do you mean we have to pay?
What is San Francisco?
Radical.
I mean, you know, the whole hippie revolution and, you know, walking around on all fours eating little mushies and partying all night. Why does it shut at 1 a.m.?
Oh, it shuts at 2.
Well, why? Why?
I'm glad you asked me that, because I am, of course, in charge of the licensing laws for the United States. And I've actually been sent to the Southern Hemisphere to explain why the bars close at 2 a.m. in the United States. And
these sort of things...
When do they close in New Zealand?
They don't.
They're off, and there's absolute carnage at the start of the race. Let's have a look at the replay. It's hard to tell. It appears the Goodnight Kiwi may once again be the one to blame. Little Chief going down in a heap there. Warrior having an absolute fit. Let's get back to the race. It's a titanic struggle with an electric atmosphere. But it's Captain Hurricane coming through to win the 100 metres and the overall mascot challenge. A tremendous victory for Captain Hurricane. But one has to ask this question. Is this finally the end for the Goodnight Kiwi? Will someone please think of the children?
Did that jet just scare the bejesus out of you?
Well, I'm not going to lie. Being an RAF pilot, no.
The gentleman here. Here you go. What's your name? Waratah. Waratah.
You know, there's a big show coming next Wednesday.
Big show coming next Wednesday.
What is it?
It's
it's a sports show.
Sports show. Coming to Invercargill.
What is it? You know what it is?
No.
Sports Cafe.
Sports Cafe.
You watch the Sports Cafe?
Yeah, I do sometimes. I always do.
Always. So you'll be there?
I'll be there, yeah. I'll be there with knobs on.
Knobs?
Mr. Mayor, can you explain to me what the special qualities of the people of Invercargill are?
Well, I'll tell you, you're seeing it tonight. What it is enthusiasm. I mean, you had 1,800 tickets sold in half a day to this show. Where else in the country would you get that? People get stuck in. We had 1 million people through the swimming pool in the first 2 years after it was built. Everything we do around the city, zero fees for students. Suddenly we go from 1,000 students to 3,000 students. Whatever you do, people
hey, stop.
get stuck.
Hey, stop. Hey.
Wait.
Next week, we're going to play the finalists for New Day.
Well, that is certainly the finalists, isn't it?
The finalists.
And God bless the Australians for having such a brilliant sense of humour. If we weren't such a bunch of PC bastards, we'd have a good sense of humour too.
Mark, it's from New Zealand.
You can't take a coffee on the plane because it could burn somebody. I mean, hey, you know, the seven Rushy, can you swim?
Sorry?
Can you swim?
Yes, I remember Mum teaching us how to swim.
Thank you.
Just threw us in the creek.
Shirt on or shirt off?
Swimming was easy, getting out of the bag was a struggle sometimes. But, that's just a joke. My mum's quite a nice person.
Nude David, maybe he'll get nude for us. You know, we'd like to see that body. How's it coping?
Yeah, it's not too bad. I reckon I look pretty good in the mirror naked.
Hamish, I noticed your new bike out there. You been out on that today?
Yeah, I just got back from a ride actually. It's pretty wet today. Just been put onto a new bike for the Olympics. It's top of the line gear and it's pretty strong and it's very light, so it's it'll definitely give me every advantage I can hope for. So it's a good tight rig.
It's going to be hot out there, Hamish, over in Greece. Are you thinking about that?
Yeah, it will be pretty hot, and depending on what the day's like, but it could be anywhere from 30 to 35 degrees.
Heat's obviously going to be a factor, Hamish, in Greece. Are you going to be doing any sort of preparation with that in mind? Training over somewhere hot, perhaps?
Yeah, heat will be a factor, and I will be heading to the south of France for a couple of weeks before the Olympics.
Okay, thanks, mate. Cheers for that.
Thanks a lot.
How did you find out about being in the trial team, Jono?
Like all players, I received a text message and... Sorry, I'm not taking a piss. It's good efficiency, I thought. So there's heaps of players to get through. So, Yeah, initially I thought it might have been Marty Holler, you know, pulling my leg, because he usually picks on a lot of people. So, yeah, no, that's how I found out.
Mertz, you copped a lot of flack this season for the big ginger sidebird. I see they've been trimmed back a bit.
And rightly so, probably, the flack I got. I didn't realise they were so heinous until I saw them in sort of highlights packages. Probably obviously wasn't highlights packages, but I saw wee clips of them from last year, and they weren't pretty, were they? But
well, you could have just lobbed a bit of brown dye into them. I think the thing that offended people was the ginger aspect.
I think the best aspect of it was the fact that it actually covered more of my face than normal, so the more I can hide, the better, I think.
Yeah.
What gave you the idea to do it in the first place? Did some chick come up to you and say, oh, wow, you look great in sideburns or something?
What happens, Graham, is when you reach puberty, your face as a male starts sprouting hair out. You'll get there.
Lana was going to watch the show tonight for the first time, but apparently we've heard word and she'd rather watch a video.
Yeah.
So maybe next time. Now, we're not on next week. We're going to have a bit of a break. We're back on in a few months' time. I think it's like parole or something. With me in the cafe tonight are two gentlemen who have some idea of what it's like to be at the centre of attention. The nation's most physical driver, Zinzan Brook, and the man arrested for driving a motor scooter around Dunedin's Octagon dressed as the Fonz, Mark Ellis, a very sane individual. So what do you guys think about all this fuss over Jonah, Mark?
Oh, I reckon he should move to Dunedin. People take your face value down there and they'd love him. Nobody'd hassle him. He'd be taken as a... Oh, God, that's sensational.
You're such a deep man. Are you enjoying the professional environment?
I'm loving the professional environment. You know...
What an understatement! What would that be?
Is that because you like money a lot?
Who doesn't like money, Ricardo? You know, you're the first man to admit that. No, it's great. It gives players time to concentrate on exactly what they're doing. They get to train full time, as Macca does for the Warriors. You know, we go to the gym in groups, and it's a really good atmosphere. And as you've seen by the amount of top quality rugby that's being played throughout the country and throughout the Super 12 teams.
So your hours training and on the physio table fairly comparable? Yeah, ideally we all want to get on the field, and the players are pretty united in that stance. We want to get out there. We want to. I beg your pardon?
You've got to mention the fans.
Well, that was my next comment, mate. If you hadn't pushed in like that, so rudely interrupted. Yeah, and the fans obviously want to see the players get out there and have a bit of a dash around, and you know, we're working our hardest to rectify the situation and get that to happen.
Do guys like you get involved in all the legal side of things, or you just basically are given sort of some guidance from up top?
No, I'm very, very involved and hands-on with the legal side of things. Rick, what do you think?
I'll throw it over the panel.
Rugby league's a winner.
Flies over my head, mate.
Respect to the referee, I actually thought he reffed the game not too bad. But,
obviously.
Well, no, there was a couple of incidents there where it's not sort of known, but he actually apologised to me after the game. But
oh, I believe that.
Taking the abuse.
Yeah, please give me a bit more.
Yeah, well, he took it down to as a word that I said. I just said ruck the man, and he said, you know, basically he said you can't say that. You know, he was lying on the ball, and in New Zealand, when a guy's lying on the ball, you ruck.
Y'all ready for this? SportsCafe is here. SportsCafe is here. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Speak up! Speak up!
I'm trying to focus here. Thank you. It's our 100th show. You can tell all these people are here because it's free. Free tonight, free to wear, free love.
Oh, bless it.
And ladies and gentlemen, Mark Ellis and his shirt.
Oh, well, mate, it was our birthday, wasn't it, you know? birthday, and I thought, well, I'll make a special effort, but I'm feeling like a bit of a stiff. I've even got the nice slacks on, so sure, you know, I've picked a bad time, but anyone got a Hawaiian shirt out there? Anyone with a Hawaiian?
There it is.
Come on, mate. Come on. Bring it up. Get up here.
I tell you what, Lana.
Okay, yeah. Well, while the guys are busy doing that for a second, we'll introduce our first guest for this evening, and he's probably New Zealand's favourite television presenter. He's certainly one of mine, and first time, he's a bit of a virgin to the Sports Cafe. Let's welcome Paul Holmes.
Legend Paul Holmes.
Hey, Paul, I've got one question. You know, admittedly on the show we've thrown a few lead balloons, a few faux pas.
Oh,
you know, with a few calls that we've made. You know, how do you tidy your act up with a live show, you know?
Like in front of a crowd like this?
Yeah, well, you know, you don't make too much of a norm of yourself, and it goes to air live, so if you say something, you know, you've got to apologise in front of the entire nation.
I know, you do.
You get asked on shows such as your own to do so.
Yeah. When did you get asked to apologise? You're talking about the American fellow some years ago. Yes. I don't know. I think you could make the mistake of yelling out. Hey? Is this boring? Boring me?
No. We want to know how come
we're riveted. No, you could...
How come you've had him on
I
the
wrote you
show?
a letter once. Remember about the show? When it started, I wrote you, said, and I criticised the couches, because when you sit people down, it looked like Zinni had a broke, you know, was going to break his neck looking up at you.
We've taken your advice. We swapped the couch.
We've got a bigger couch.
One thing our favour.
No, we didn't. We got rid of Zinni.
And it took a while?
Yeah.
I saw you playing at Ericsson once, matter of fact. I was there the day you called a pass.
Nick, what do you think about the Cannonball's new haircut, given that you yourself tried the look and it didn't really suit your suite, if I may be so bold? But what do you think of the Cannonball's new look?
A lot of people liked it, if I may say so.
Well, hey, and myself included, might I add.
Did you like it?
But the general public, you know, it was a bit of a...
It caught on, I copied.
That was quite a shock, you know, it was a bit of a shock. It was, but it was socially very successful.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I saw you the night. You said what Lana's name is spelled backwards. I thought that I was going to...
Quiet with the Bunce family. Please move to the left. Frank, nice of you to show up. 4.5 months late. Where have you been?
Hey, you told me to show up when I felt like it.
Yeah.
I didn't even feel like being here, so let's get on with it.
Okay. Oh, that's enough of Frank.
Thanks for showing.
Yeah, thanks for...
Excuse me, Frank. So what are you doing exactly? Because I don't know.
I'm doing nothing. That's all I do now. I stand behind counters.
So you're not... You must be famous to be here. What exactly you're doing?
Frank used to be an All Black.
Frank was
Really?
an All Black. Everyone used to be an All Black.
Was it really long time ago?
You know, when
Yeah.
Frank shows up on the Sports Cafe, it makes us sort of think, I know how lucky we are.
Does
Clever-
it?
Clever link.
Yeah, very clever.
Go, please.
Today,
The idea of "We Don't Know How Lucky We Are" as a national song took off from that humble yet moving moment. Since then, a grand design was put into place.
It's catching on.
The re-recording of Fred Dagg's magnus opus. John wrote some new lyrics and sang like a big bird.
A couple of musicological persons have had a crack at it, which is probably a good thing on balance.
We don't know how lucky we are.
This is a bit of a different version of it, yeah, but it's good. And it's always been a mixture of sort of nationalistic gusto and a bit of satire, because I wouldn't like people to forget that it is actually slightly satirical. It does try to highlight the fact that New Zealanders, God bless them, and Australians have got this too, have a wonderful facility for returning to New Zealand and saying, this is just fantastic, we don't know how lucky we are to live in this place.
We don't know how lucky we are.
so when things are looking really bad, you're thinking of...
something, ladies and gentlemen, very special. That single has now gone gold, and Sony Records have kindly brought the gold record up here. They didn't get ours done in time, so we borrowed one of Neil Finn's 150 for the evening. Thank you very much.
Hey, Muzz, have you got any odds on the games that are on at the moment?
The gay games.
The gay games? No, we haven't, Mecca.
Why not?
Just not enough coverage. We just don't know enough about them.
Enough about the gay games. Yeah, Moto Adios, what's the story?
Ladies and gentlemen, fantastic news. Moto Adios is back in work and we'll start again in about 5 weeks.
There it is.
5 weeks.
Oh, look, come on, mate. You've cracked that 3 times, nobody's laughed. Push off.
What we should do is...
all the camera people,
you guys are
and
so
all
easy.
the people at Sky, and all the people at Sky that help us out. A big congratulations and thanks to you for that.
Yeah, and I tell you what, we should say thanks to our viewers, the people that have made it here tonight, the people are back home watching it on TV.
People are sending us stupid videos.
Yeah, and I think the chance now to go out on our 100th show with some moments from our very first pilot and our rehearsals, moments you've never seen before.
Thank you.
And of course, lovely funny man of one half of 2 bottoms. Lizzo.
On with the show.
It's a new Ryan from an aeroplane.
He's also a midget.
Yeah, I know.
There you go.
It's not endearing when you meet a bloke that you can stick your wine glass on.
As opposed to a woman.
Let's take a look at sport. What's the matter?
Puppet Corral won the Olympic marathon.
Sorry, I just noticed how attractive I am on camera. We did the Sports Cafe as one of the ways just to sort of unwind a bit and sort of think that you're just normal.
Underwind, another thing that we do on
Unwind. Unwind.
There you go. Okay, that'll do. That's good.
If only they'd listen to me in the studio. We could have had half a decent show. 1, 2, 3, 4, this could have been a TV great, oh yeah. If only you wouldn't let me in quite a state, that's clear. If only they'd listen to me in the studio, Where did it all go wrong? That's what I want to know. Where did it all go wrong? Remember this bright young broadcaster starting out, full head of hair, 12 and a half stones, full of personality. That's me now, bald and fat. This is the first show I was on, the first time I was on the Sports Cafe. The go-to, it was all downhill from there. But these are the people that are responsible for pulling me to the gutter. These people, disgraces to the industry. I'd like to introduce you to the first one. This is the first time that you saw him on the Lion Red Sports Cafe. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Mark Ellis. La-da-di-da, la-da-di-da. La-da-di-da, la-da-di-da. Right. Mark specifically asked me to find a person of this talent pool.
Are you there?
She was on Wheel of Fortune. She was Miss New Zealand. She was the person that was going to bring us under control. Here's the first time she was on the Lion Red Sports Cafe. How she's changed our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, our very own Lana Cocroft. La-da-di-da, la-da-di-da. All right, we've had some greats. We have had some greats on that couch. We've had Zinzanbrook. We've had John Curran, but they've hung up their boots. This guy was on one of the first ever shows that we did, and he's still got his boots on. Let's have a look. Show number 3, the first appearance of this man. Rugby legend. Very, very deep questioner. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Eric Rush. You know, a big part of this show is the videotape. And the first year we were on air, this is what this man did. Checked the videotape out for what was happening and created a style all of his own. He then became a face on the line read Sports Cafe. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Graham Hill.
And Twinkle lost. Twinkle lost. Back it up. Thank you.
Tree, thanks for coming on. Thank you very much. Well, you know, you're obviously a big fan of the show.
What's that, Rick?
What do you think of the show?
Oh, seeing it's been going for 300 times, it's getting better.
Have you got security guards when you cruise around? I mean, because I read something.
Yes.
You do
With
have?
large dogs.
With large dogs?
And guns.
Because I read something the other day that Russell Crowe got into a bit of biffo, and he seems like a fairly cocky sort of a chap, and he asked this guy outside, and he's getting dealt to, and then his female bodyguard came out and clipped him.
Do you reckon we could still beat them if we take sort of like not some of the name guys, but some of the form guys from the NPC?
Yeah, I would. You know, I'm a believer of the old school that you take your best team, really, and all this business about being tired and jaded, and it's all the money they're carrying, all the money they're carrying in the back pockets weighing them down.
I mean, you're renowned for dressing up, to say the least, and in fact, you love leather. That must be a wonderful thing.
That carries a lot of weight in Hollywood. I go for the leather because all those guys just want to be beaten. So don't be submissive.
Well, hold on a minute. Speaking of beating, here he comes. Come here, boy. Come here, boy. Come here. What do you think of that, leather, eh? What do you think of that?
The Den is doing a roaring trade, if you're wondering where everyone gets dressed. Thanks to the Den.
Sorry, Lucy.
This is one of the CBS executives I invited along tonight.
What about Russell Crowe? Does he, when he's in Hollywood, does he call himself an Aussie or is he a
Or
Kiwi?
Russell Rock. Remember when he was Russell Rock?
Who remembers Russell Rock? Oh, just me.
Ah, shut up.
Russell Rock. His song was "I Want to Be Like Marlon Brando."
Is there any chance of answering my question here or what?
Oh.
No, not much.
It's the first one you've asked all year.
I don't get to ask them too often, you know, it's just like...
I must have attention deficit. What was the question, Lovey?
Does he call himself an Aussie or a Kiwi? Excuse me, can you take your hand off my knee? Married with 5 kids.
Yeah.
Okay, this had nothing to do with me. The guys wanted to see Ever Again in the nude.
New look on the All Black jersey, I like.
The Slobodan Joseph Stevens. Dat was zeer gebruikt met Paul Holmes. Beschäftigt was ja nakedness with nature.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next week.
Don't know how lucky we are.
I'm Laurie Mason, filmmaker. The Lion Red Sports Cafe. It made us laugh, it made us cry. It was Wednesday night's good time show. Or was it? Tonight we tear back the curtain and expose the shocking truth behind the Lion Red Sports Cafe. That's tonight, on the day the laughter stopped.
Yeah, my dream was for a serious, hard-hitting sports show, and I thought we started out on the right track, and then the dream was shattered.
And the dream would be shattered. Egos, lawsuits, counter-lawsuits, and gross excess would eventually see the demise of the show.
That I'm actually the most professional person on the show.
The egos. Mark and his nudity, basically Mark and everything, just turned it into a farce.
I knew from an early stage that I had the support to mount a takeover, and I mean that was just up in the air when the the revelations about the trust fund became apparent.
And then Rick, because he's head honcho, or high commander as he liked to call himself, he got his hands on where all those trust funds went. So me and Mark's money is in some trust fund somewhere and we can't get our hands on.
I mean, what good is a trust fund if they don't trust me?
Hello, 3 years ago I was going on the trips. Mark was going on the trips. Not anymore. Things have changed. Something really dodgy is going down.
Checks in the mail, maybe.
Yeah, my kids want to go to school. What am I going to feed them? I'm trying to get some money out, but he's... No.
I can tell you that I'm pretty relaxed about my money because actually Rick has them in a trust fund for me.
Time was running out for Sports Cafe and its labyrinth of trust funds. But it would get worse.
The trust fund with Lana and Cannonball, I mean, did you notice how Cannonball suddenly kind of like disappeared? He was owed thousands.
But when he's 55 and when he can be trusted, he'll get that money.
But there'd be more victims and more excess. They were far from a happy team.
Yeah, that guy is an enigma. I just don't like him. I find him, I just find him strange. And I don't like that in a man.
When I first came on board the show, I kind of slipped into the downward spiral of drugs, barbiturates, alcohol, and adhesives. Was that because of the constant pressure to come up with a new angle each week for the show? No, not really. I was just having a good time. After the break, when the day the music stops continues, sex, alcohol, and the show hits an all-time low.
It is fair to say that Ralph was the Yoko Ono of our Sports Cafe, that Mark insisted that, Ralph be involved in everything.
The rumours that Ralph and I had something, perhaps a little more intimate than a working relationship, they really cut to the bone. They heard, the guy, he was talent personified. It was just a pity I had to sue him.
We had such a tight unit, and suddenly, Ralph was driving a wedge in between us.
Did the wedge hurt, Rick?
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever had a wedge, but it does hurt.
With Ralph kicked off the show, Mark too found solace in alcohol. The future looked very hazy for Sports Cafe.
Yeah, well, after suing, Ralph and that guy, successfully I might add, Rick really did hit rock bottom.
Yeah, the end of '98, things were pretty bad, and there was a lot of infighting. And, as the leader, it was up to me to come up with some way of bringing everyone together.
In '98, things hit rock bottom. Rick found comfort in karaoke.
Rick gets us in there 45 minutes before the show. There's no rehearsal. We've never rehearsed that show. It's embarrassing. Rick sings to us. What is that all about? Who is this guy? Where did Rick come from? Does anyone actually know how he got started in the business?
It was sickening. He thought he had some talent. But the thing was just such an insult to the art form.
I just cannot stand this, especially this song. I did it my way.
Try and make a decent sort of show for the 4 viewers, and he gets us there an hour early so he can sing to people, and he's out of control, mate. His ego's out of control.
Singing We Are the World, I thought was the way, and I think it worked,
As far as I'm concerned, this is enough.
Yeah, I think it was a big success.
Join us after the break for Romance and Egos Spin Wildly Out of Control.
Once the cameras are off, we don't talk to each other.
There's too many egos in one room.
I can't get away from him, you see. He keeps an eye on me in case I tell people. tell people what he's really like. Look, he's coming over now. Look at him.
I mean, for God's sake, who is John? Hello?
Regard to trust fund, I hate Mark now. It's a shame how it's just gone to shit.
Yeah. No, yeah, when I first came on board the show, I think, I think he ever had a bit of a thing for me. A bit of a crush, shall we say.
That's bullshit. I just don't stand the man.
But hey, she's a great kid, good-looking girl, and you know she's only human, and yeah. I mean, why bring it up?
We didn't.
They get on TV, and it's, oh, I want a clothing deal.
Sure, you know, I'm a good-looking guy, and so people would like to see me wearing their clothes. You know, it's not the same for the others. They're not attractive in the same way that I am.
Well, what? You're walking up naked beforehand? What's wrong with what you wear? It's a sports show, for God's sake.
And you know, Lana was moaning at me last week because I'm sitting on the couch, but I'm moaning at Ricardo. I've gone to I've got physio now because of my back. You know, I had that nice sofa.
I mean, like I said, I wanted to be on the seat or on the side.
As if Lana is the, you know, at the front of the Titanic, like this. You know, I am the show.
I'll be suing both Rick and Lana.
And it's my chair, and I'll have it if I want to. I mean, I've had enough, you know.
I hate Lana.
Well, Graham, you know, I mean, I'm just going to sue his ass.
Like he's just rude.
I hate that guy.
I'll be suing Jim Anderson.
I'm going to be suing Cannonball.
You know, it's fair to say that Lana and I don't get on. And
No, I hate Rick.
I'll be suing Eva for this.
I'm going to counter-sue Lana. I mean, she's trying to sue me.
I'm going to sue Sue.
Basically, I'll be suing everyone.
I thought the karaoke was good, though. It was a lot of fun.
And as we speak, we're counter-suing Eva.
I know it's a strong word, hate, but it's the right one.
It's over.
And now the delegate from New Zealand, Mr. Fred Dagg.
At the dawn of the day, in the great southern ocean, when the world's greatest fish was being landed, and the boat they were pulling it into was sinking, the sea was quite lumpy and the weather was foul, and the bloke with the map was as pissed as an owl, and the boys called out, "Maui, you clown, let it go." In the noise, he reached down for his grandmother's jawbone, and he winked at his mates and said, "Boys, we don't know how lucky we are. I've a feeling I have stumbled on something substantial. We don't know how lucky we are. We don't know how lucky we are." I was speaking to a mate of mine just the other day, a guy called Bruce Bayliss, actually, who lives up our way. He's been away on a round-the-world 8th Army do for a year, more or less. I said, "Describe the global position, Bruce." He said, "Fred, it's a mess. We don't know how lucky we are in this country. We don't know how lucky we are. We don't know how lucky we are. We don't know how lucky we are." There's a guy I know who lives in town. I see him about once a year, I suppose. He's had a coronary since Easter. He's got a hemorrhage in his ear. He went bankrupt a couple of weeks back, and now his wife's left him too. I said, "You're looking odd, mate. You're looking queer. What are you going to do?" He said, "We don't know how lucky we are to live in this joint, Fred. We don't know how lucky we are." He repeated, "We don't know how lucky we are. We don't know how lucky we are." So when things are looking really bad and you're thinking of giving it away, remember New Zealand's a cracker. And I reckon come what may, if things get appallingly bad and we're all under constant attack, remember we want to see good clean ball, and for God's sake, feed your backs. We don't know how fortunate we are to have that place. We don't know how propitious are the circumstances, Frederick. We don't know how lucky we are, mate. We don't know how lucky we are. We have no idea of the luck we possess. Collectively, we just don't